Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shenanigoons, that crazy industrial fantasy D&D campaign where we play D&D. You know, it's
And
been
are
too
all in the
long.
We're all
It
in
has
the wrong
been.
camera spots.
Welcome to
Well, I can't
that
help you with
crazy
that. Why did Arthur?
industrial fantasy D&D game where our audience helps join the madness or something. Fuck, I didn't even get it.
I don't remember. It's not on. I
wrote
don't
the
have my
fucking
script
thing.
up. It's been too long. It's been so many times we've done this. You guys are gonna have to fix your cameras because I can't fix your cameras for you.
Yeah.
So
I like
being-
So that
We're all
means
out
that
of
Heather
order.
How
needs
did
to
that
drop
happen?
Polish my
because Arthur turned off his camera.
Read a book.
One moment, please.
Bye, everyone.
We're like shuffling like a goddamn.
Next time, if we go live like that, you have to play those characters for at least 10 minutes.
That's
a
fine.
rule.
I was fine
Alright,
with that.
Sounds good.
You have 10 minutes. You have to play, and everything is canon. Everything that happens is canon.
Oh,
Well, when we suddenly wild magic
Wait.
swap bodies.
Wait, was Arthur in Merrick's body and Merrick in Arthur's? Because that would be very interesting.
No.
Oh.
Let's talk about Freaky Friday.
Ugh.
No?
Surprise,
Hi,
I'm dating
everybody.
a
Hi.
I
woman.
missed you.
If you don't know this show, then you really don't get half those jokes. I'm sorry about that, but hopefully
If you don't know this show, you might not have been here for the last month, or you might have been here for the last month, and
Yeah.
yet still this is
and
new.
still not know anything about this show because we haven't played in a month, and I'm sorry about that. We've had some scheduling
Welcome to
things.
Shenanigoons. We love that you've
And it's
subscribed.
begun.
Tuned
And this
into
sort of thing happens.
Shenanigoons, and no one here was bribed. I tell ya, mayhem, magic, mystery is usually the vibe. So strap in for Shenanigoons. You're awesome. You've subscribed.
And we get interrupted a lot. But that's okay, because this is a silly, goofy sort of D&D campaign. It does have moments of seriousness, such as the murder that happened last time, the cliffhanger I left you all on for over a month. And I'm going to go ahead and get my notes up here, because then we're going to talk the hell about that.
My grip's not that strong.
Sorry?
I would have fallen. You left us on a cliffhanger.
Oh.
You have that feet. Fuck off. You absolutely
What
can
feet?
climb
Because
things.
I'm
You're
halfling?
fine.
He can use his feet.
No, because
use
you're
his
a
feet to climb.
rogue
He
and
has
you have
prehensile
You have
toes.
that. You
He's
have
like a
that
sloth.
story climbing thing, the rogue thing.
Oh, we just were notified by chat that our video is lagging behind the audio a little bit. Just to let you know.
You're fine, Heather.
It's because
am I?
I flashed some titty and they're
We,
on.
I think
us
we're
for
back.
we had to
censorship
do the
issues.
7 seconds little
Yeah.
button thing, and the
Yeah.
sensor delay. But we only delayed the video for some
Is it
reason.
because I wore that pink tank top that one night that looked like I was absolutely
Yeah.
naked?
Is
on
it still
stream?
happening? Is
It seemed
still-
like it fixed by the time I actually checked the stream.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and move forward. If something is happening, unfortunately, we may not be able to necessarily fix it perfectly. And I'm sorry.
Yes,
Okay, it's better.
better.
Good. All right. So it's probably because I was moving a bunch of shit on my computer to get my notes up to the front. That is probably why. So I apologize about that. So here we go. So last time on Shenanigoons, the players were the characters, not the players, were attending a birthday party for the quartermaster of the Birchfield Institute, and his name is someone that I should know. Ignatius.
Ignatius.
Ignatius
Ignatius.
is a 80, 90, 100-year veteran of the Birchfield. He is a dwarf, I believe. I don't have my notes in front of me, of course. I have the
Hence
wrong
the
notes.
rock pun.
I got it. And someone killed it. Okay. At that party, a lot of the Birchfield people were there, and a lot of some of the people from around the various cities and even countries that the players have been to came by as well, including some of Ig's family, and of course the character's handler. Robin was there, begrudgingly, of course. He seemed like he had more important things to do. Got into a row with Susan the Lesser, who is now full troll form all the time, but still dressing to impress. And actually seems to like dressing like this because dressing nicely as a troll is not what's expected. So she seems to just like to be contrary no matter what. Her manners really haven't changed much, but they did
She's
kind of
bigger now.
She's bigger and stronger and more intimidating, yeah. But still just
damn
as
it.
aloof. And during the middle of the party, as things were going fairly well, the lights go off. And be on the right notes here. And then all of a sudden, several things kind of all started to happen at once. Bonnie saw a flash of light, cacophony of blues and red, and it was drenched in red and seawater all over her nice silk dress. Now, Bonnie, was that a Marco?
I hope it was a Marco.
What was that, the Marco dress or no?
It was. I was not planning on wearing the Marco dress.
Okay, so you did not spend money on the Marco dress. So this was not a Marco dress. Damn it. So unfortunately, it is actually still stained and still wet, as it is not a magical dress. Val here heard a strange screeching sound, sort of animalistic, but nothing like anyone's ever heard before. Adelaide hears a whirring with mechanical sounds, lots of pieces of clockwork machinery sort of working together. Merrick felt something tugging on his pant leg, then crawling up his leg, and then something bit him in the hand. Arthur, who had gone to the restroom for plot reasons, came back and saw several flying objects leaving the room. The lights came back on. Merrick was holding a 7-legged spider symbol. Bonnie had seawater and blood dripping off of her. Robin was dead on the ground, and that's where we left. And that is where we're going to pick right back up. So I'm going to describe a few things to you very briefly. I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about these moments, and they're going to give you a little bit more detail. And then, unfortunately, everyone is going to sort of be whisked off as several proctors will be entering the room. So, in this moment, let's start with... I didn't write them in that order, but we'll start with Merrick. Merrick, the device, the thing in your hand, the little symbol is actually some sort of mechanical device. It actually feels like it's different pieces that are kind of have hinges and things that kind of come together to create this symbol. The whirring sound, let's see here. Not much I can tell you about that. The flash of color. The seawater is definitely seawater. You're pretty sure this is some sort of blood, Bonnie. You're familiar with the smell. And I'm gonna have you make a let's see. You'll be making a check in just a second. Yours will be an intelligence. Merrick, yours is going to be a let's see here. Arcane, I guess, because there's no mechanics skill in this in D&D's, right? So you'll be making an arcane check, I guess. The whirring sound was Adelaide. Adelaide, you'll be making an intelligence check to kind of determine which direction you kind of heard that sound. Actually, it'll be a perception check. And your Bonnie, yours will just be a straight intelligence. The Arthur, you're going to make an intelligence check, and Val, you'll be making a perception check. So, and Arthur, you're pretty sure that what you saw were books, like flying books, a whole like flock of them, dozens of them actually, so go ahead and everyone make your rolls. And whoever is first, raise your hand, and I'll start taking those numbers. Bonnie, what'd you get?
Natural 20.
Beautiful way to start. Natural 20. Bonnie, the smell took you back instantly. The emotion, the fear of the dark, the connection to that moment. This is the exact smell that was there the day that you and Merrick kind of confessed to each other on the back of the Gigantic. When you saw the blood. When you saw the terror, the viscera being floated to the top of the ocean, as the merfolk were slaughtered by the woman that they were trying to oppress.
She starts shaking.
You would not expect that this to be so such a strong connection, but you are sure that this is exactly the same smell. It's exactly everything. It just feels exactly the same. Who's next? Val.
23.
All right, Val, you had the strange screeching and animalistic sound. So it's a 23. So you hear that this seems to have come from one of the far tables. This seems to be almost away from the action. It wasn't right where you guys were. It wasn't where Robin was, but it seems to have come from a far side where there was groups of a few people over there. A lot of the guests that we had talked about were over there. Susan the Lesser, her fiance, Brindle Hooves, the unicorn, who else was over there?
Her fiance, Brindle Hooves?
No. I can't remember the fiance's name.
Lindquist.
Lindquist.
I believe Abe's was there.
Abe's was there with
Nougat.
With Nougat, and we had two others. The rogue that helped you in the podcast.
Riku?
Riku was there, and yeah, so that it kind of came from that direction. So you're not quite sure if it was related or if it was something weird happening over there. You don't know, but again, you've never really heard anything quite like that sound. Who's next? Arthur.
So I had a natural 1, the opposite of Bonnie, but with my bonus, it's a 1.
Nice. Now you are not a rogue, so you don't have anything that brings that up to a bare minimum or anything. So you, so as you are kind of looking over these things, you actually aren't sure what they were. So I apologize about saying that you thought they were bats, or books. They could have been books, they could have been bats, but you don't really have any recollection of where or why they would have been there. But you're pretty sure you know what you saw. Some sort of flock of flying creatures, and the way that they were flapping, the only thing you could really get is they seemed to be moving together. I mean, they were all kind of going in the same direction. You're not quite sure what that was.
They were in sync, whatever they
Not exactly in sync, but they were moving together. They were not every one of them flapped their wings at the same time, but it was almost like watching starlings. It's like they moved together quickly.
Okay.
Or like a school of fish darting
Exactly,
around
yeah.
in the water.
Who's next? They did flap though. Merrick?
16.
16. So as you're playing with this, you can see the workings of it, and you see that it's obviously got some sort of magical power to kind of control it, but it also has a lot of mechanical parts to it. So you're kind of like, oh, okay, that's kind of see how that is. But with the 16, as you're looking at it, before you're kind of distracted by all the craziness that's about to happen, you notice there looks like there's like something kind of like wedged in there, but you're not gonna have time to pull it out right now. And we might have other things you guys want to do later. Adelaide.
I got a 10 on my perception check.
So the whirring sound that you heard, the kind of strange noise, definitely sounded like it came from where Robin's body was and kind of moved towards the door. And the people kind of near the door right now, Arthur, is he stepping up, Val, Merrick, and a few of the other guests and anybody I didn't mention earlier, kind of that direction. All right. As you are starting to realize these things, you realize Robin's dead. Some of you rushed over to kind of look at the body. You see that he is definitely dead. And immediately, like almost like clockwork, it's incredible. Several of the high-ranking golden up proctors start to come into the room, and it's not a ridiculously like amount of time. They're in the area. Some were already here, so it's not like it was like it feels weird that they're showing up now. I want to be clear about that. So they kind of start coming into the room, and you see this large minotaur who is one that we'll be talking to, and you see a couple of the Birchfield directors are coming in at this point, and none that any of you really recognize. I mean, you know who they are, but but not like you wouldn't know them by name necessarily. And then you see coming in and going over to talk to some of the other guests. You just see a whole myriad of other proctors, including something I should have had open, and I didn't, of course. You have they're down on the bottom. Oh, they're just pictures. I should link the pictures. Anyway,
That was unhelpful.
I was looking. That was very unhelpful. You have this this older woman who has this kind of curly gray hair, and with her is a tabaxi, a young tabaxi that is a lower rank proctor, but seems to have some sort of prestige for being attached to this older proctor. And they go off and they're talking to Brindlehooves and a few others. As the Minotaur starts to kind of step over to you. And several of the other proctors come in. They all start to just immediately start collecting the evidence and start to kind of cordon off the scene and get people to move. And in those moments, you're gonna have some options. So Arthur, you have the option to disassociate yourself completely from this. You can just walk away, and they're not gonna think you're involved at all. Do you want to take that, or do you want to be a part of and kind of be like on the peripheral, or do you want to be kind of be involved in this?
Well, I rolled a 1, so I don't know what that would mean. Like, that was to understand
but you saw
what
that
was happening.
You knew that there was
at me
darkness
coming
in the room. You actually wouldn't be able to see through the darkness because you weren't in the darkness. So you saw the darkness kind of in the room. You heard screaming, you heard weird sounds, and then when it comes back up, you just see like people running and rushing into here, and almost like clockwork, things are starting to be taken over by these other proctors. So the question is, do you want to walk in and be like, hey guys, what's going on? Or do you want to step away and be like, I wasn't at that party? That kind of, almost that mentality.
Hey guys, what happened? It looks like someone got murdered or something.
I think I'll take the latter.
You're going to kind of like, kind of just turn and walk away.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Homer in the shrubs.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
that
is
was my first reaction when I saw that roll. Just because I was like, "Hey, maybe I just turn around and leave." So
you're able to kind of step back and kind of blend in with the crowds of lower proctors and other people that work here that are not proctors, are kind of paying attention to what's going on. But like you're kind of being pushed back with everyone else, like, "Oh, please step back," and so you're kind of there at the peripheral. We're gonna get back to you. Val, so you were gotta get my other notes up.
I was trying to heal him. I was doing medicine checks and trying to.
Everything kind of happened at the end there. Not everything is going to be there, but that is one of your options. The other option is that you could survey the scene to look for a weapon.
Weapon as in the object of the crime, or a weapon as in
The murder weapon.
where is it? I gotta protect myself.
The murder weapon or other clues.
Gotcha.
So you have that opportunity, so you can either do that or you can heal. You can look to try to heal or help Robin.
See, Heather would like to look for more clues, but Val, I feel like Val would go to try to heal him
and I
first.
think part of it is you already know the answer of what's going to happen because I told you last time, so I wouldn't forget. Because I wanted it in your notes. Thank you for that. But I appreciate that you're willing to go with what you would do. So go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Okay. Medicine. That's a 20.
Okay, so with that, you are looking over this wound and you're not sure what created it. You would need more time to study it to really understand. But initially, it's not a knife, it's not a sword, it's not a gun, it's not any magic spell you've ever seen. Something strange happened here. Also, as you're examining him, you are can kind of tell because you I think the first thing you want to do is you want to use the 1 minute
Spare the dying.
not spare the dying. You want to use what's the 1 minute resurrection? Do you have that?
Oh, I do. It's
Revivify.
Revivify.
Thank you, Revivify.
So which doesn't work. And so you learn that as well, that for some reason Revivify just did not work. You don't quite know that little bit of information I gave you off camera last time yet, but that'll be coming out as we talk. So you're kind of separated from that. Bonnie, you
Are having a nervous breakdown.
so you have a choice. Do you believe that Bonnie is in any kind of mindset to be rational in this moment?
No,
Okay.
there is no rationality at all in her brain whatsoever right now. She genuinely is having a panic attack.
So with your panic attack, more of the attention is turned to you to help try to calm you down. Somebody's coming over to cast Calm Emotions, which is going to give one of the other two a bonus as they are not being paid attention to as much. Who wants it? Before I tell you the rules.
I want it.
All right. So who wants to go next then? Merrick or Adelaide?
Let's
do
I'll
it.
go next, and let's let.
Actually, I want
Adelaide
Adelaide to
have
go next.
Okay.
I decided in the last second there. So Adelaide, you have two options. You
Okay.
can look around the room for what could have created that noise,
Mm-hmm.
okay, before you're distracted by people talking to you. Or you can look over Robin's body. And each one of these choices has a benefit and a consequence, depending on how
Yeah.
you roll. And you may not get either if you roll poorly. So you can
Um,
inspect Robin's body and fish for clues, literally, or you can look around and try to determine what caused that mechanical sound.
I'm thinking. What? Val's already at the body?
Val's at the body, but Val is healing, not searching
Trying
and
to.
rooting pockets.
She's gonna go for the sound. She's like, we have to stop whatever did this, and if that
Okay.
did it, I need to find out what
Give
that
me
is.
a perception check with advantage.
Does she see Arthur just slide into the crowd?
That is part of what she's going to get, depending on what she
For
gets
the
right.
record, for story purposes, I want it for the record that I give up a +7 bonus to do that, other than to do this instead. 16.
16. So as you're looking around, you have a hard time identifying anything that could create that. However, in that moment, you also see Arthur kind of fade back into the crowd a little bit. And you also see Brindlehooves looking extremely nervous.
Okay.
Merrick, you have two choices. You can
Okay.
either inspect the device in your hands and figure out what was wrong or what was stuck in it or why, or, being the last person, you can look around the room for clues.
I think Merrick would be very fixated on the symbolism of
Okay.
the device that's in his hand, and would investigate the device.
All right, give me a. There really is nothing for mechanics. Is there craft? Do we have craft in the system? Can't remember.
No,
That's
it's
3.5.
usually relegated to.
Sleight of
It's
hand.
usually,
Ooh, sleight of hand.
yeah, that's like delicate hand. Or yeah, delicate.
Yeah, give
manual
me a
work.
Give me a sleight of hand check. That's fine. As you're kind of looking through and playing around with this device.
That is a 16 on the die for 28.
Perfect. As you are moving the parts of this thing around, and every once in a while it kind of twitches to life, but it's not really hurting you, although you do see that the thing that bit you and you have the little puncture mark in your hands seem to have been some sort of little venom holder, like little holder of some sort. So there's a possibility that you might have been injected with something, but you're feeling fine. In addition to that, for now. But
You
only
might have gotten
for now.
poisoned.
But
Jesus.
in that moment, you move it and it makes this kind of weird crunching sound, and Adelaide kind of perks up to that a little bit. Adelaide, it's the same sound that you've heard, or really close to it. Again, it's not moving the same way, but it very well could be. And Merrick, as you're looking into it, the device, there's a gear that's been broken so that it still functions, but it makes this weird sound. And with that, it was definitely done on purpose. It was definitely bent with a tool used and to snap off one of the teeth to make this sound. Okay.
That must be made by Holly.
So as you so at this point, all the proctors start to come in, and one of the proctors, who's a very gruff, very kind of stereotypical minotaur that you might expect, the little, just, the kind of gruff, just kind of bad attitude. He's the one that seems to be coming over to the four of you as he another assistant proctor of his, a gold. He is actually whatever's above gold, which would be
Platinum, probably.
As a gold proctor comes over and holds open a little box for Merrick to put the device in, and they ask if you need medical help and things. Yes.
No, Adelaide.
Oh.
Just, but I want.
He's a member of the Baditudes.
And they come over and they start cordoning off the body as they realize what you realize, Val. A couple of the golds, they're seeing the same thing you are. So they kind of push you away and start turning it. Basically, they're just trying to lock down everything here and take everyone aside and start to talk to them individually. And I know you all wanted to have the interrogation scenes. We're not really going to have a lot of that because nobody really. There was no way to kind of introduce that because we're not sure that everybody, I just don't think it would be good entertainment. I don't think it'd be fun, at least on my end. But you are taken aside kind of as a group, the four of you, since you're kind of near each other, and you're speaking to this gentleman. What is his name?
The Minotaur?
Yeah, the Minotaur.
Bo.
Bo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
His last name is Vine.
God damn it.
Veen. It's
Veen.
Vine, yes.
Does anybody else just have this sense of dread over their head? Sorry, Matthew just really creeped me out. Man, it's something he said hours before. No, half an hour ago. It's just like.
It is no more ominous than the thing we put into our show. I mean, we set
true.
ourselves up for this, okay? Proctor Veen.
So Proctor Veen has.
That sounds like someone with an accent talking about the party where the proctors all dress up in fancy dress and costumes.
What color
Proctor
is his
Veen.
I'm just gonna spell his last name
Like Halloween.
Oh,
but
I
it's-
see.
Yeah.
I was like, Proctor Veen.
Kyle enjoyed it.
Proctor faces on parade. Proctor Veen. Okay.
Good question Arthur had.
What was
What
Arthur's
color-
question?
Oh, like
Colors
it's relevant.
Color is Bo's pin. Is he a platinum, you said?
Platinum, yes. Bo is a platinum. So he kind of pulls you guys aside and tell me what happened.
He died.
The room went dark and just flashes of colors and noise and lights came back on and he was on the floor.
He
Did
died.
everyone see these flashes of color?
No, I heard a sort of a mechanical tone. It was very similar to what Merrick had found. That thing you had, it made the same noise as what I heard. But I heard it coming from Robin's body. So very much that is probably connected. And it was probably not very helpful.
That's very helpful, thank you.
Good.
I didn't hear either of those things, but I did hear this weird animalistic sounding screech from over in that corner.
Please do it
Gesture.
for me. Mimic it.
God damn it, Logan.
Caw-caw.
Oh God,
No.
that's a bad bit of evidence right there.
I had to move away from the mic.
Thank you for moving away.
Gain inspiration. That's your reward for doing the horribly embarrassing thing that I would hate to do on stream. So that's not his voice. Helpful, thank you. Did you come to the party wet?
No. No, I didn't. She's actually starting to shiver. This was definitely not what I had been planning on looking like through the evening.
Who has a coat? Come
may I
on.
touch-
Merrick covers his coat.
May I touch you?
Sure.
He hugs
Easy
you.
tiger.
He is very warm.
And in one moment, a new favorite.
You are unhelpful. Turning to Merrick.
I beg your pardon.
Tell me something I do not know.
I had lasagna for lunch.
I knew that. Tell me something about this.
Well, the
You
device
also
had
had
some.
2 glasses of wine.
Oh, he is good. No, there seemed to be some little venom injectors on the device. I think.
Were
And
you
it,
bitten?
a bit, yeah.
What?
Just
Do you
I'll let
feel
small-
like you're going
maybe-
to die?
Well, we all die someday. Some sort of them all, you know.
Val has grabbed your hand and is checking where you got bit.
You know, he asked permission, and I like that. So,
Well,
Excuse
time is
you.
of the essence, Merrick. Suck it up. Speaking of which, Val, is that a thing we have to do now? I don't know how venom works.
Suck it up. Oh, God. So
I don't know yet. Let me check the wound.
as you're kind of looking over it, you aren't sure. They're so tiny, you really aren't sure. But at least so far, there's no signs that he has at all been affected by it.
Okay. Sorry, Merrick. I panicked. That poison,
you're
that-
fine.
it's really bad poison. It makes it so you can't be brought back.
Again, you don't know that yet. That was the thing that you don't know yet.
Oh.
Sorry.
Sorry, I forgot.
That's okay.
But
That was the thing I had to tell you because I would have forgotten. It was very good. It was in your notes, but
That's fine.
yeah, that part you don't quite know yet because last time I thought it wasn't going to be that rare, but now I've changed it so it's extremely rare. So we're going to
Gotcha.
get to that a little bit later. But you're going to find out about it very quickly.
Okay. Sorry,
Um,
Merrick. Poison's a really big deal. Gotta catch it early.
Very. Do any of you have any reason to have wanted Robin dead?
No.
he was an ass.
No.
Well, that's
He
an
was our
inconvenience. That's not grounds for murder. No, absolutely not. He was our handler. We
So you've
worked
never had
with
any
him.
disputes with him?
Oh, loads of disputes,
Mild at best, but our
disagreements mostly.
to be honest, sir, our interactions with him had been relatively positive over the last several weeks. We've been, I think, gelling quite well as a team for the last while.
He said we got good reports on our last couple of missions, so he was actually really happy. He was,
Well, happy for Robin, but happy.
well, yeah. Did you ever meet Robin, sir? Because
I trained Robin.
he was,
Oh,
so you probably know he could be a little surly.
I thought he was quite nice.
Oh, well, he could be a little
Some
surly
people
with
are
us, but
sickly sweet. Too nice.
No one would ever have thought that of Robin, sir.
True. Do you have any reason to suspect anyone here?
No.
Not to
that's
throw
what-
anyone under the wagon, but
It's your job to throw wagons.
That is quite a way to get from point A to point C.
Is that why we haven't been promoted?
We have to join the Scottish Games of the Birchfield Institute and lift a wagon. Well, there was... I mean, everyone looks a little shaken from the incident, but... And Adelaide's gonna glance over at Brindlehooves. Is he being talked to by anybody?
Yeah,
or-
the woman that you'll later find out is Meryl is talking with Brindlehooves right now. It seems that the Tabaxi, Avi, has been sent out to talk to the crowd.
Well, I mean, everyone looked a little off. I noticed the gentle pony over there. But he tends to be a little bit on the
Glamorous side.
terse side.
He does seem to be sweating a little.
Horses sweat.
Yes.
It seems that your investigators have this in hand, though.
I hate to say it because he was a really great guy to us, and I couldn't see him doing this, but I do know Abe's and Robin had a little bit of a disagreement with each other earlier, but it didn't look like anything horrible. It just looked more like they disagreed about something.
Seemed more
And then they
like
separated.
Robin met someone, is what it seemed like.
Was it only them
Only them that I saw.
and no other disputes?
Not tonight, but I don't know beyond that.
Well, I did see a bit of a disagreement apparently with Susan the Lesser, but we recently dealt with her as well. I'm not sure she has the motivation to murder someone over just an argument.
I honestly just don't think she'd bother.
Yeah.
It would be too much effort.
She's actually a rather sensitive person.
So back to the pony then. Do you have any reason why they might have a grudge against the Birchfield?
Adelaide side glances at Merrick.
None whatsoever.
I don't think anybody knows that
No,
Merrick
we
did
don't-
that. Okay.
No?
I don't
No,
I
I
don't think
think
that
we
ever
were
came
told-
out.
I think Brindlehooves
Brindle
told
has
us that
mentioned. Oh yeah, maybe
Merrick
he did.
gave
he
him
did.
something
That's right.
to eat, and he
then
ended
yeah, that's right. He did. That's right.
we've had a few
I-
run-ins with him.
Yeah, but we helped him get on a train. He was happy about that.
Greased his behind, you know?
I've heard-
Asked to
I've
a
heard this
consensual
tale, yes.
greasing. But he was also on our last mission as well. It seems like he's just sort of wrong place, wrong time. The only grudge I could imagine him developing is maybe just resentment that he's in the middle of trouble whenever we're there.
Wrong place, wrong time, or is he a mastermind and's been following you?
I don't know.
learning about you.
He ate one of the taffes, so I don't know.
Did you know?
about-
Where did you get the
Mastermind.
taffy?
You know, it was lying around.
Those were supposed to be destroyed.
That would be
Oh.
something for Quartermaster Natius. He had those in the Lost and Found, which is where we've been supplied from for the last several months.
I don't think they were labeled. So it's entirely possible that he didn't.
They
wasn't
might have just
aware
been
that
jiggling
they were.
around in the bottom of a box. We didn't know. It's possible he didn't either.
All right. Stay here. Do not leave. Don't talk to anyone. Don't touch anything.
Can
Even
we
if
talk
they
to
have a
each other?
badge, sir.
Talk to each other. Talk to golds or higher. And he heads off. So we're gonna skip to Arthur. So Arthur outside. After a while, there's a few silvers that have been kind of keeping everyone kind of in line and just keeping everyone there, not letting anybody leave right now, but just in this. Oh no! Oh no!
Here it comes.
no.
Here it comes.
Uh,
TR Toys, an 800-year-old turtle and college roommate of Ig. He insists on
Helping with the investigation, claiming to be a retired detective.
mm.
I paused the screen, so I got a copy of it.
Yes.
It's supposed to post it into the chat now. We got to figure out how to make that work. Okay.
Here you go, Logan, if this helps.
Have you watched The Never-Ending Story recently?
No, not for years.
I heard the theme song sung.
What am I
recently.
looking at? Where?
Posting it in our main Discord chat because it's a
Got it.
picture. I took a
Oh, yeah,
screenshot.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Matthew. I guess. Thank you from us. I don't know
Thank
about
you.
Logan's willingness to thank
Yes.
you, but
Thank you.
hello, Ren. Welcome.
Hi, Ren.
Now is a great time since we're paused for a moment. I know that next week Arthur will be with us, but for 3 weeks after that, unfortunately, Arthur will not be. And we're no longer going to kind of delay this story to make this happen because we're not at a point to be able to do that. We're going to be in the middle of it. So while we will not have a guest for the first week that Arthur is gone, Ren is going to be our guest for the 2 weeks after that. So,
Oh snap!
and I already have kind of an idea of what I want to do and to kind of tie into this story. So the 5th and 12th of November, Ren will be here as a guest.
Hell yeah.
on Shenanigans.
That's
Our
amazing.
first guest on Shenanigoons, I think.
Brilliant.
Couldn't happen to a more wonderful person. And for those of you on the podcast, Ren is at Atomic Firebird on Twitter, and you should totally follow them. 'cause
All right,
they're awesome.
They are amazing.
TR Toys, is that what it was?
TR Toys.
TR Toys, okay.
Turtoys.
If this, oh,
It's TR. Just TR. That's fine.
TR.
So
Terrence
he's
Reginald Toys.
So it doesn't say if he's actually a detective or not.
He's claiming. He's claiming to be.
claiming
I
to
think.
be.
I think Matthew very generously gave you some artistic leeway there.
I appreciate that. All right.
P plot.
So
For you.
No, please.
let that movie be forgotten.
No.
Turtle.
So, coming out of the crowd and kind of slipping strangely past the Silvers is a tall, about 6 foot tall turtle, and this turtle is wearing kind of this long jacket and has kind of a loose button-up shirt on. Inside of a little belt pouch, you can see sticking out of it the handle of a kind of a reddish sort of wood handle with a kind of silver pommel on it, and sitting right next to that in a special little pouch of its own is this very large, intricate, big bell sort of pipe, and he's wearing a deerstalker hat. And so he comes right up to the 4 of you as the turtle kind of leaves away. So tell me, what's happening here? Somebody's dead, right? I can tell.
Sorry, sir. Adelaide glances around looking for a pin.
There's no pin.
Sorry, sir. This is Birchfield Proctor business.
TR
and,
Toys.
It would. TR Toy, Mr. Toys,
Detective
Nice to meet
Toys.
Detective
Nice
Toys.
to meet you, detective.
With what agency, sir?
I'm freelance. Quite often hired by the Birchfield to help out in situations like this.
I might need to confirm
For
that
when
with my superior.
they
sir.
cannot handle the situation.
Adelaide, our superior is dead on the floor.
We can go over his head.
It's not hard right
Quite
now.
easily- quite easily on a plate.
Literally.
Adelaide crosses her arms and just looks away from this guy like, I'm sorry, sir, we really can't help you. It's nothing personal. We've just been given very specific instructions.
So he turns to Merrick.
Adelaide rolls her eyes.
So you specialize in these types of investigations?
Very deeply involved murders, usually. He pulls out his
Really?
gun.
So are you some sort of like you say this is in your particular wheelhouse, you'd say, like
Yes, for when other investigators can't figure it out,
And you
I
keep-
consult.
And you do you consider like these cases like very special to you, like you almost want to tend to them, you know, very very carefully, like they depend on your presence in order to be solved?
Yes. You understand.
So you'd say that these are like, you know, pet cases for you, like, you know, you take care of them.
I think you understand very well.
He's cool. He's a pet detective.
Adelaide doesn't make eye contact with Merrick. It's just
See it.
So-
she's
our boss
not
was
mad.
noted-
She's just disappointed.
What? What schooling does one need to join the Birchfield?
Hard knocks. You.
Ah, I think you're wrong. And he kind of looks around and he like perks up and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a large rock. He goes, "What's that, Mr. Stone?" "Oh yes, elementary." And then he turns and walks
Adelaide
away. And
Adelaide
he kind of
turns
moves
around.
through the crowd, and he's actually like, it's almost like the Birchfield people don't really pay attention to him. He kind of slips in and he starts to kind of walk around to places where you don't think you could be walking right now.
Adelaide turns around, eyes a little wide, looks to Merrick and goes, "Now, what did we learn?"
I'm sorry?
That's what I thought.
And that will not be the last that we hear of TR
Of course
Toys
it won't.
and W.A.
God.
Stone.
W.A. Stone.
They'll be back. At least for 3 more seasons. But don't watch the last one. Okay.
Really gonna jump the shark in that one.
Really.
Adelaide's gonna look around at some of the
There's also,
who
by the way, a new
assemble.
guest we have to talk about, Moira Artsy.
Oh no.
Took a while.
Logan. Logan.
You played Matthew. All right, now that last
Oh,
one. We're
yeah,
taking that
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Okay. So then we're going to go back out to Arthur. Thank you, Matthew, for that. Really appreciate the donation, and that will definitely be coming back around. So we're going to go back out to Arthur. So Arthur, as you're out there, a few of this, like I said, the silvers are kind of cordoning off the area, and over comes the tabaxi, and he looks extremely nervous. He's wearing, I should probably look at the image and make sure I know what the hell he's wearing. He's wearing kind of a, is that a scarf? I can't see. I can only see him from like right here up. So I don't know if that's part of his outfit. He's not wearing like normal Proctor clothing, I don't think, not yet. But he's got this like kind of layered motif around the neck. I think it's a scarf. And he's got just very simple blue clothing, nice boots, and he's wearing a ring on his hand. And he's got a little notepad, and he's got a pen, and he comes over. He's just kind of questioning people, and then he kind of comes over to you. Your name, please?
Oh, yes. My name is Arthur.
Oh, Arthur. Okay, that's a lovely name. Can you tell me what you saw, if anything?
Well, I saw a table, and it had some sandwiches on it. and I think there was a bowl, and it had some a ladle with some juice.
He's furiously taking notes. What do you know what kind of juice it was?
Fuchsia. It was sweet.
Never heard of that fruit.
No, that was the color.
Oh, all right.
Yes, it was somewhat sweet, and it's all gone now. I've thrown my cup away.
And that was it? You didn't see anything else?
What was I supposed to see? I've seen you, and I've seen a crowd, and I saw lots of people being ushered away.
Oh, if that's all, I mean, that's fine. I just need to know. All right, well, you have a good one. And he just kind of moves on down the line.
Cool. Can I slip closer?
To...
Back...
No, actually, what's happening is most of the people, as they're being excused, are being they're being kind of pushed out of the building. So you're actually being kind of cordoned off, or not cordoned off, but guided to leave the building at this point, as they're kind of shutting it down.
Okay.
Okay. As you get outside, and you are you're around with all these other people, most of them are just leaving. They're getting carriages and things, and they're just heading off for the night. You can stay here, stand just in front of the building, or you can go around the back side of the building. What do you want to do? Or you can try to get back inside.
Yeah, I'm not gonna... I'm just gonna kind of wander away.
Okay.
Because I did see what happened. I'll wander away from the crowd just to start to look around at different things.
Give me a perception check.
Hmm. 8.
Okay. As an 8, you're looking around the side of the building, and you look up and you see one of the windows on the side of the building, all the way at the very top, 5 or 6 stories up, being shut.
Okay. How far up?
6 stories up. This side of the building is very difficult to get to. It's kind of near a wall that's very close to the building, and then the other side is kind of this big ditch, this watery sort of ditch. It's kind of like not a cesspool, but it's just kind of a gross pond.
I'm gonna let a moment pass. I just saw it shut, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll let a moment pass where, as if somebody was shutting it and then turn to leave, like a moment, basically, a few seconds, and then I'm going to cast Fly.
Okay. All right.
And fly up.
All right. As you start to fly up, you get to about the 4th story, and then as soon as you cross up to the 5th, you fall to the 4th, and you start flying again, and you hit up, and it's almost like something is turning your fly off as you try to get above that level.
I go around to the different side of the building. I'll fly.
Every area on this side, on these 3 sides of the building, probably on the front as well, but I assume you're not doing that because of where the people are. But every side of the building has this sort of, seems like anti-magic spell around that area. Are
there any windows at the 4th level that I can...
There's quite a few windows at the 4th level. Several are open.
Yeah, I'll go to one of the ones that I'll end up doing that along the back.
Right, roll me a d6.
5.
So you're in a private office. You're not sure quite whose. You can't really see anything adorning the walls or anything. Although there is on the desk, there is an image of a young, kind of dirty blonde girl, maybe a daughter or whoever's supposed to be here.
Okay.
There's a door out to the hallway. You have no idea if it's locked or not.
I'll start. Is it open?
Do you want to check it?
The doorway, yeah.
Okay, you go over and you open the door, and it does open into the hallway.
Right, I'll shut it and kind of investigate the room a bit.
Okay, so as you're kind of looking around, you find that there are some documents and the name Merrill de la Vez on it.
Okay. So I will jot down the name. I'm specifically looking for any keys or anything. My goal is to get higher up in the building.
Everything here is very well organized. It's very well taken care of, and nothing seems to be really out of place. And there is nothing like that. No keys, no no notes, no magic items, nothing floating around.
All right. Except for me. All right. I'll exit the hallway. Into the hallway.
Okay. All right. We're gonna come back to you. So down the floor, it feels like everyone's sort of kind of started finishing up what they're doing. Everybody down there, though, everyone except Arthur, make me a perception check.
$25.
23.
So
one total.
the 23 and the 25, you both see it at the exact same time. There is something sitting underneath one of the little credenzas off the side. And with those two checks, you're pretty sure that you recognize it, a small wooden compass. On the other side of the room, two of the proctors have started to use detect magic to search different parts of the room. You only have a few moments to act if you want to do something. I would start by telling your friends.
I think I see something that needs to get picked up very quickly.
Go.
Okay. Yeah.
Anybody feel like being invisible?
I'm very sneaky.
Underneath the credenza.
Say no more.
Compass.
So as soon as they say that, with your 18, you instantly like, oh, there it is. I thought it was a shadow. I'm not crazy. And you're like, okay, you don't know what it is, but unless Bonnie says that, but in that moment, it's just like instant. You're like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And Bonnie's just gonna lay a hand on Merrick and cast invisibility.
Okay, so does that have a verbal component or a semantic component or both?
That's a good question. Greater invisibility has verbal and it has a somatic component and a verbal component. Shoot. Well then I don't do that because I don't want to draw any attention.
As we've said before, that verbal and somatic are both very obvious. There is no way to really hide them.
Yeah. So she knows Merrick is good at not being seen. So.
Okay. So Merrick, your goal is to walk over there or sneak over there and pick up the device. Or pick up the compass. So is anybody going to do anything to try to help Merrick?
I know for how he's going to make his approach is just going to be like a saunter, not really like making a beeline, but not trying to make it look like he's obviously.
So let me set the scene a little bit here. There are probably 24 proctors in here. You are not. You were told not to really move around. You were told not to touch anything. So any extraneous movement is going to be noticed pretty directly. You're under direct observation.
Can I attempt to aid in his attempt to sneak away?
What do you want to do?
Good old-fashioned distraction. I'd like to snap my fingers and bring my hawk familiar onto my arm, and I want to ask it to fly like up into the rafters, the opposite direction, but like make a lot of flappy bother.
Okay.
I kind of want it to seem like the bird has just fucked off on its own accord.
Anybody else going to do anything?
Are there which proctors are specifically nearest to us? Are those the ones that would be most likely to notice if Merrick started moving?
Not necessarily. Some of the ones across the room are just happen to be leaning on the walls, looking at this direction. They're all over the place that anybody could theoretically see you. The more that you
Okay.
do to distract, the easier it will be on Merrick.
Okay. I want to walk. Okay, she keeps her hands up to make it obvious, like she's not trying to do anything. Can I walk to whichever one's nearest us, but in the completely opposite direction of the credenza?
Okay. And do what?
Sir, I know we weren't supposed to move, but I have a question about someone who was acting kind of strange and suspicious that I've never seen before.
Okay. So this is a fire ganassi woman who wait, we use fire ganassi woman? I think we have. Sorry.
Whatever
Sir,
phrase
no,
is
sir's
the
fine.
correct
So,
one. for
let's
her
go
to
with,
use.
It was just fire at that
Oh
point.
no!
Just,
God
yes.
damn it, Matthew!
This is glorious.
You have to.
We have a spin.
happening too.
A distraction. Time for Val to spin the wheel.
Oh hell!
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Wheel.
Matthew,
of-
you're just our master of chaos
Mhm.
instead of master of ceremonies.
Oh,
I love it.
Still an MC. It's
All right,
beautiful.
so let's see here. I gotta put this in the back. We'll fade in the wheel as I roll it.
Oh, dear.
Wheel of causality. Spin, spin, spin. Tell us the horrible wascally wabbit. Let's see what that is. 1 second here. We'll fade this out so people can still see you.
Oh gosh.
Wascally
I
wabbit.
feel like this is going to be an
it's
interesting
gonna be a
one.
bad one.
Oh
Uh-huh.
god!
I can't remember.
Roll a D100 and a D6.
Okay,
Oh, this is gonna be a great distraction.
it actually is. Yes.
Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you very much, Matthew.
We always
Nine-
welcome the wheel.
94
Perfect. And the D6?
and 4.
Okay, so a 4 is not quite life size. So that's about 4 feet. And then give me the type of animal that Val hates the most, or creature
I-
in D&D.
I feel like after the experiences we've had, it would be a flail snail.
So,
Not a flump?
so 96.
Oh, actually, maybe a flump.
Okay, the stink.
Well, no, but she felt bad about
Nah,
Winston. No, you know
listen.
what? Those
You didn't
fucking
feel
painted pixie
bad.
bullshit
You
things.
didn't
Oh,
feel
the
bad about
pixies?
that? Oh, the
Paint
pixies?
pixies?
Goddamn painted pixies.
Oh,
God.
perfect.
A
Yeah.
4-foot
No!
painted pixie.
96 4-foot painted pixie stuffed animals just start to rain down on Val, each one painted a different color, as paint starts to smear all over this half of the room.
Oh
Um,
no!
Roll me a d20.
All
Okay.
the evidence.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That's a 9.
So you need to tell me at some point after we're done here, when they unbury you, what 9 different colors that your skin is stained. As this comes down on top of not only you, but the other proctors. And you did say the closest one. So the 3 of you, can you please make me dexterity saves?
Oh
Uh-huh.
boy.
That's another 1, so 5.
Oh, wait, I can re-roll ones.
Fuck
yeah,
you!
halfling.
Arthur's like, I'm so glad I'm not there.
That's so much better.
That's a natural one.
Hey, me too!
That's 3 natural ones. Are you kidding me? I got a 27 on dexterity save.
Okay, so Merrick easily sidesteps because Merrick has a mission, and this is the perfect distraction. As everybody turns to see these gigantic painted stuffed animals start to fall from the ceiling just around Val and spread out. Adelaide and Bonnie, each of you roll me a d20, please. As you two are completely covered and just overwhelmed by these very strange painted pixie
Couldn't have-
stuffed animals.
Couldn't have rolled a 19 when I needed it.
13.
They're all wearing Dermot name tags.
So though, remember this is painted pixie paint, so it is permanently staining. It'll be on your skin for a few weeks, and
Well,
the
that's 2
clothing
dresses
will
I've
be
lost tonight.
pretty much ruined. You didn't change. You didn't have time to change.
Val borrowed one
Val
of my
borrowed
dresses.
one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Well, no, I went and got one.
True. We did alter it.
She went shopping with me because Val doesn't
All
go
right.
shopping ever. So
But several of the other proctors also are collapsed down upon. It's strangely though, as Proctor Veen comes over, he does not consider that you did anything malicious. He's seen similar things happening, and he just attributes it to the
Magic poison.
the magic poisoning that has been going around the birch field. In
Oh,
that
God.
moment, though,
It's fatal. It builds up in your system to the point where it's fatal, and that's what happened to Robin. It was magic poisoning.
Merrick, I need you to make me a stealth check first.
Okay.
With advantage.
I had intended to give him inspiration as part of my aid, but
That's fine. Because it would have happened at the same time, so that's fine.
Okay.
Can you do that? How would you have done that without calling attention to yourself? I guess you don't have to.
Leaned
You can
over
just-
and give him a kiss and just said good luck quietly.
Perfect.
No, she would have done a tango with him.
How much is that? How much is that?
So can you
die?
describe to me in this moment as you are dodging all of these stuffed animals, how it is you're going to be getting 12 feet or 15 feet across the room in addition to that? Is it going to be like I'm sneakily stealthing away, or are you going to use this moment as an opportunity to kind of lunge across the room?
It's a D8.
Sliding across the marble.
He had taken off his jacket to provide to Bonnie.
Yep.
And so what he is doing is he is using the jacket to be like, no, fuck off, no, just no, and like deflecting these painted pixie stuffed animals away with his jacket, like
Love it.
while doing so, kind of shimmying across the floor.
Perfect. So
towards the
you're more
credenza.
being distracting and not stealthy. So instead of stealth, I want
okay.
you to give me a I guess it's
Performance?
persuasion. Oh, performance. Performance is perfect.
Oh no, I'm not good at that.
Do they
Okay,
let you get
D8.
away with walking away like, oh, he's just trying to get out of the way?
Well, I mean, everybody's kind of scattering from the mess, especially as they continue to constantly fall and spread, because 96 is a lot. Had it been 4, this would be a lot harder.
Okay, so it was an 8 on the d20 for a total of 10 with performance, but on the d8 I got an 8, so that's an 18.
And did you roll
for performance.
with advantage?
No.
Oh, because we gave you all that.
Yeah, you got
Distraction.
advantage from all the distraction. Absolutely.
So that's a total of 22.
Yeah, so you're fine. Everyone definitely believes that you're just kind of trying to get the hell out of the way because everybody else would too, especially considering you know what you've been affected by this type of paint before. So you've kind of just skittered your way across the room there, and then I need a sleight of hand check.
Okay. That is a 26.
Right. So you have the device, Gemini compass. Yeah, it is one of the Gemini compasses. You get it, you slip it into your pocket. You have no idea why it's here, but it is.
Adelaide still has the other, right?
No, you guys delivered it.
No, we turned
We
it in.
did deliver it.
Yep,
Okay.
it was in the
They
notes.
can-
Thank you, Heather.
But
This
no,
was the
okay.
one that you had. You're pretty sure.
Okay. Logan, while the craziness is happening and it's settling down a little bit, can Adelaide, with her back to the crowd,
You're covered in
Look
4-foot
through-
stuffed animals right now.
okay, can I look through my hawk's eyes, please? Can I
Yeah,
telepathically
your hawk
look
would have.
through his
Yeah,
eyes?
that's fine. Your
as
hawks
an
would have
action?
just definitely gotten out of there just in time, so you can at least see.
I
You
want him
see
to
that
find.
that these things are still piling up on you.
Mhm.
You're going to be under here for a while.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
wanted him to like perch on like a statue or something high up that it could just be sort of out of the
Yeah.
way. Can I look down at the assemblage? You said that there were directors there and like
Mhm.
higher ups.
Yeah.
Adelaide just wants to scope out who all's in the room.
So I don't have
if there's
all of the
anyone she
proctors figured
recognizes.
out, but I do. I'm going to
Okay.
take a look. You sent me a
I
thing.
DM'd you.
Yeah. So I've got
You
the.
did
I'm going
that.
to have the 2 proctors that are there.
Or the 2 directors.
Directors. That's what I meant. Sorry. So it is not that one. Not that one. Oh, so there is a tiefling, kind of a grayish skin tone. Sorry, there's a description, so I'll just read those. Red auburn hair, pallid, almost gray skin, very, very fashionable. Definitely got out of the way of all this. He's got very kind of flashy affectations. This is Pan. This is a very kind of social director that you've definitely met before, because he makes a point at some point to meet everyone, and he describes Pan not only as his name but also his preference, and he's always the life of the party, always very exciting, got a very
I love him.
kind of attitude to him, and always dressed in the height of style. Imagine like we're talking Capital City out of Hunger Games level of style. In addition, there's so many good ones. Angela did a really good job.
I'm picturing him starting trends, not following them.
Usually,
Absolutely.
We're going to put.
You can get them all in eventually.
Yeah, I know. Helmsfar, which is a bugbear, an 8 foot tall, covered in ginger red fur, always reds.
There's a few redheads in there. I didn't mean it. Just have
it's the magic poisoning. Two magnificent braids draped over the shoulders that nearly reach his waist. One sleeve of his robe is sewn shut as he's missing his left arm. We'll just say it's his left arm. The other is a lanky and long. He's very dignified, very wise. You may not have necessarily talked to him. He is the director, the senior most proctor, and is the director of... Oh, he's the co-head of directors with another one. And the other, Pan, is the director of public relations and the government liaison. They just happen to be nearby.
So Helmsfar's like our boss. He's the head of the proctors.
Helmsfar is the head of the proctors at this point. But he is more kind of taking a hands-off approach and just kind of making sure that the scene and everything goes well, and more just listening to the reports from the platinum and the golds. So, was that, you said why we had our hawk? So I
That was
get a couple
fine.
of, okay.
I
wanted to get a couple two in. I wasn't sure I was going to do it. So perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so Helmsfar is there, and director
Pan is there.
and
Panache.
And yeah, I was gonna say I would know his name was Panache.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. That's what I wanted.
So.
He's also a redhead. They're all redheads.
I think they're all redheads. I'm like scrolling through. It's like
there's 3 or 4 of them out of like 8.
Because we all know.
Sorry, not
all
sorry.
adore redheads in this crew.
So
I tried to mix it like scarlet red hair and auburn red hair and ginger red hair.
So the next hour is just cleaning up the mess from the magic poisoning. It is coming in and using prestidigitation to clean up the stuffed animals, which will decay over the next 24 hours. But in the meantime, they need to be put somewhere, and they just kind of put them over in the corner after they're cleaned off. These weird kind of freaky pixie looking monstrosities, and they're kind of pushing them off into another room right now, into another one of the large meeting halls, as they clean up. And after a while, after cleaning up, and Val, Adelaide, and Bonnie, you each know that you're covered in so many different colors, and that is colors that got on your skin, not just your clothes. Yep. So you can kind of describe those at some point. I mean, when you get to 19, it's more just kind of a cacophony. You look like a box of melted crayons, and Merrick's over there like, yep. And that's that. So, but afterwards, everyone's cleaned up. The Proctor Bovine comes over. Proctor Veen comes over. Thank you for all of your help. We are going to be talking to the pony some more. He's the only one in custody at this point. Let me ask, this strange sound, the screech, you all heard it, right? And before you answer it, yes, everyone did hear it. Now they kind of, as they think about it, they definitely did hear it. It was just kind of mixed with everything else that was going on. Especially after Val did it, it was like, oh yeah, that's absolutely what we heard. He's the only person that's, oh God, I went into a little bit of a bugbear there. He's the one that he said he did not hear it. He's the only one.
think it's because he made the sound.
Is it possible it was just a scream?
What
I think
do
it's
you
because he
mean?
screeched. He got frightened because the lights turned out, and he screamed like a poor, terrified little girl.
What's wrong with girls screaming?
He screamed like a poor, terrified little girl. I didn't. There's no
Little
judgment there.
boys make worse sounds when they're terrified.
I don't
Somehow
know.
hits like an extra octave. It's just very strange.
I'm not sure.
Just wondering why weak needs to be girl.
I said, terrified little girl. Didn't
How do
say-
you determine girl versus boy scream?
the pitch and the timbre, really. It's like, if it's.
You've done this sort of study before.
I've heard lots of screams. I've
From
made
children.
lots of screams. I look like a child, so I've had to pass as one, and I've had to scream like one.
Okay.
Please
Gonna say you
demonstrate
are-
screaming like boy and screaming like girl.
For inspiration.
All right.
No, not when you make sexist comment in stream.
This is for redemption, not for inspiration.
All right. So,
Please turn your gain down.
I
Or
ca- I
lean
can't-
back.
I'm on a different mic now. If I were to be imitating a terrified small child of indeterminate gender, I would be screaming like ah, like something like that. But more with the with a little bit of the lilt on the end, and perhaps add some.
Are you saying girls only talk with a question at the end of their sentence?
This isn't Susan the Lesser, the terrified little girl. Even her screams have a question mark on them.
Oh my god!
She screams better than you.
I'm sure I should take some lessons.
He just kind of walks away. You may question you say you have reputation with this pony.
We have had encounters with him before.
Then you can question him about him screaming and find out if that's the truth.
Yes, sir.
We will put him in
Okay.
holding pen.
Just make sure the entrance is very wide.
So,
No, if you don't make it wide, he won't be able to get out.
how would he get in?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, so we're going to cut back up to Arthur. Arthur, so you've had about an hour now to kind of scope around. Everyone's
In
been
and
kind
out of game.
down. You have started to search around this floor. This is mostly just open offices, private rooms, and things. What?
No, I just want to do something.
Sure, what?
Okay, so I and maybe you'll let me you'll allow it. My shield, it can be anything once a day. I imagine that I want it to be a set of architectural, not a map, but architectural blueprints of this building.
How meta can we get?
So that I know like where all of the hidden, if there is hidden walls or the structure of, and the stairs and.
Roll me a d20.
Well, my 1 and my 8 so far today. Natural 20.
I rolled a natural 20 as well. So
Oh,
this,
again.
this
That's where the 20s went. Damn it.
this
We fueled you.
This mimic. What was it? Did we say it was a dead? I don't remember what it was. Why it can change. It's an
It's a
inert
dead mimic, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
It's an
it's
inert
like
mimic
the,
that was
it's
turned
like
into
the
a
top.
magic item.
It's
right?
just the top half of the mimic's
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a mimic has no actual form. It just chests are common. So evidently, you would guess that it's been in a lot of the different parts of this building, and so it actually is able to kind of turn into not necessarily a map like you might have wanted or blueprints, but it turns into kind of a 3-dimensional structure of the building that has these weird kind of hinges that you can kind of open up the different things, but only of certain parts of the building. Not everything kind of exists, but quite a lot of it does, and some of the 5th and 6th floor do. So give me a well, you've got a lot of time. So as you spend some time with this, and you start to kind of look, you see that there may be to get onto the 5th floor, which are all seem to be locked off. You do find a way to kind of get up. There's some back staircases that this creature seems to know about that you were able to kind of get into and climb up. There was no locks on them, but they're kind of hidden away. They're like service passageways. Or maybe for safety, they weren't locked, but you were able to get into them with no problem. And you get up to the 5th floor. Trying to get up to the 6th floor, however, is proving very difficult. All the doors are magically sealed, and then while the creature has been obviously up to the 6th floor, was only ever taken one way, and that seems to be some sort of passageway that exists in an office that is closed and locked. And there's no name on the door, but you're guessing it's an office because it's very similar to all the others.
Can I see inside this room?
No, you cannot.
Of course not.
There's no
That'd be
windows on
too
the doors.
easy. I'll knock politely on the door.
Nobody answers. You guess that this late at night that there's not really anybody here. You're not running into anybody on the floor either.
Can I attempt to pick the lock?
Yeah, give me a... Do you have a lockpick set?
No.
Okay, so I think you need a lockpick set to without... You'll be at disadvantage without it, I think. Or no, you don't add your proficiency in. Is that it? No, what is it? I'm trying to remember in this system.
Yeah,
there goes our rogue. So why don't you just give me a sleight of hand check?
Excuse you.
Okay. I think it's the proficiency as well.
Well, you weren't answering the question.
Oh.
You would get to add your proficiency if you were proficient with the tools, but I think without the tools, it becomes more difficult. I think you're at disadvantage.
All right, so the first roll was an 18 with sleight of hand. The second roll is a 17.
Oh, all right. So you jimmy the lock open. You sit there and you play around with it, and you get it. You pop this lock. It's not as complicated as you would expect, and you open the door. You are inside a very what looks to be a very important office, but there is no indication of whose it might be. As a matter of fact, you think it might actually be a communal office, but that it's like maybe for meeting with people. It looks like there's very little stuff in here, but it's very, very nice and designed like it's meant to be meeting with
like a board
one and two. No, it's tiny, so it's like for private meetings, like with one or two other people. But as you walk in there is a bookshelf. The only thing that has a lot of stuff on it is this bookshelf, and it's a bunch of nondescript books. They're all the same bindings. There's no labels on them at all.
And is this where the chest seems to have...
You would guess that it's behind this bookshelf in some way.
All right, I'll try to move the bookshelf, and I'm going to look for the Puppies of Mystery, of course, and pull that book out.
There is no labels on any of the books. They're all exactly the same.
Can you tell by like the binding?
There is 10. That's one way to look at it. There's 10 books across, and there are 4 shelves. So you can tell me a book and a shelf, or you can try some other way. Mangela just came up with a good way.
Oh, I meant, can you tell it's a Puppies of Mystery book by the binding?
Got it.
There's no text, but you can tell by the stitching.
Yeah, I'm just gonna investigate them and see if I can
give me an investigation check. Look for those clues
that stand out. 19 plus 4, 23 investigation.
So as you're looking over the books, there is one book, the second shelf down, about 8 over, well, exactly 8 over, that looks newer than the other ones. As you kind of reach up and pull that out, it only goes about halfway and stops. And then you hear this little click, and the entire bookshelf kind of just jerks away from the wall slightly. Okay. As you push the bookshelf aside, you find a set of staircases that seem to lead up, a spiral staircase.
Okay.
As you get to the
I'll go.
As you get to the top of the stairs, however, you are greeted by a very large steel door that has a very intricate key lock on it and several runes. You would guess touching this door without the proper keys, without Merrick's or maybe Body's abilities, you're going to be in trouble.
Okay. I don't have anything to get past that.
But
I'm gonna go back.
Found the door.
Yeah. I'll go to the window. Does this look? Try to open it. Does this look like the window on the fifth floor?
No, this is
below.
So you're on the wrong side of the building.
Wrong side of the building completely. Okay. I'm gonna look out. I'm gonna unlock the window. I'm gonna look out this window and remember which room this is.
Okay.
From the.
Sure. Do you want to put something in the window or something and
I want to make sure that it doesn't lock, but close all the way if somebody goes to close it.
So you pick up one of the little tchotchkes and stick it on the windowsill so you can see it from the thing later and close the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either that or I'm gonna chew a piece of taffy and
stick it to
nice
the
and moist
to the wall,
and then just kind of.
Well, since you're not actually swallowing, I'm gonna say it's not gonna go off, but you can do that if you want.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
Okay,
Wild magic surge on the window.
Was up one of the things and stick it to the wall there. All right. So
and then I'm assuming this took more than 10 minutes. My flight is gone.
With having to research and stuff, you're pretty much out of time to catch up with the others.
Yeah.
I'll
start working my way back down.
Okay. As you do, people are starting to, you start to hear that they've kind of let people back in and up to the second floor and things, that there was a huge mess, but they've finished their investigation at this point to the point that they're starting to question just the suspects now and everyone has been released. So the building is now open again. As you get back down to the bottom, you see Merrick, Val, Adelaide, and Bonnie talking with Proctor Veen, who releases them at least to the lobby until their suspect is ready.
Let's go to the lobby. I'll go wait in the lobby for them.
Okay. You guys will have a few minutes before Proctor Veen comes back.
Curious, knowing that the compasses do different things on different planes, I'm wondering if, since we're on the prime material plane, I might be able to find where the other compass might be, because it'll point to the other compass.
Yep, that's what it does.
So,
correct.
So I'm, as I'm leaving the room, just kind of like.
It's pointing off in a direction. What is I don't.
Is it pointing back towards the room?
No, it is not. As a matter of fact, it's pointing almost the opposite direction.
Perfect.
You would guess that since the lobby is kind of large here, it's either in the lobby or it's somewhere on the outside of the building, or it's very far away, maybe.
To gauge that, open it back up and walk 3 feet over to one side, and then walk 3 feet over to the other side.
It moves not incredibly, but a significant enough difference that you don't think that it's that far away. It's possible it could still be in the building, maybe just up higher. But as you turn the compass vertical and kind of gauge it that way, it's definitely pointing like slightly down. So it's actually lower than the floor of the building, you would guess, from where you can be. But I'm assuming you're doing this all a little stealthily because there's still proctors around and stuff. Yeah. So, but in general, you would guess that it's not in the building, but it's very close, and it's not moving.
All right. Well.
A few moments later, Proctor Veen comes out. I assume you guys talk a little bit about what just happened and stuff. Nothing we need to. Does anybody have anything they need to talk to Arthur about, or vice versa, before we
where were you? That's probably the biggest question.
I went to the restroom.
You were gone so long you grew a beard.
It's a magical beard.
Oh, well, it's very fetching on me.
Can
You guys look very colorful.
I
Shut
know
up.
that I know that Arthur is in general a very stoic person. But he was gone for a very long time, and I'm not sure I believe him when he says that he was in the bathroom.
Well, he was, but I mean,
That's where he was the entire
yeah,
time.
no, he was not. Unless he took
Is
he
that
did-
something-
he would have had to have taken a sandwich with him.
You wouldn't
Which is
have,
not outside the realm of possibility.
wouldn't have questioned Ig's time in the bathroom. Why would you question mine?
You don't have a history of blockage.
And we travel with you. We probably have a rough idea of how long it takes you.
He eats
We
like 5
unfortunately
times
know-
the amount of sandwiches you do. It's possible that he spends a lot of time in the bathroom.
It's just a conveyor belt at this point.
Aww. Oh, I didn't need that. Thanks. I hate it.
I was just saying
You
we
are
were
the
traveling-
envy of Ig. Ren, are you sure you want to be on the show?
I think they're gone. I think they're gone already.
Yeah, that's it. They're like, oh, dear,
You can't hate
dear
it,
Logan.
Kyle.
I'm
You
sorry.
did it.
Nobody else was jumping on it. I handed.
All right, back to
I was on our behalf.
You have a
okay.
lot of things to learn, so come on.
Well, yeah, we're only silver. We understand that.
I
Sounds like
tell you
there's
guys
opening.
that I have something to share with you later.
All right.
Share it with us now, and then we can.
Yeah, you're alone enough that you don't think
Okay.
anybody's listening in here.
Yeah. So, and I'll basically I'll repeat what I saw. That I saw somebody close a window on the 6th floor. I'll tell them the side of the building. I tried to get up there.
Merrick, that's the side of the building that the compass is pointing to.
But down, right?
Couldn't fly up. It was magically stopping me.
Which
Went
doesn't-
in.
Which doesn't surprise some of you.
I was gonna say that's probably. Instead of saying it's probably, Logan, would that be like where the director's offices are?
The director's
Or, like,
office
would I-
is where they keep the artifacts, it's where all the
Okay.
important stuff is up there.
Sure. I mean, it's completely reasonable that there would be some sort of ward on that space to dissuade easy entry.
Right, but
Yeah. Made my way up to the 5th floor with help of my little toy house here.
Yeah,
And-
he is carrying around a probably 1 by 2 foot size recreation of parts of this building.
I
It's
remember
hard to
making
tell
one
what
of
it
those in
is unless
4th
you're
grade.
really looking at it, but
Mhm. And,
So you went poking around in the restricted section.
Yeah, of course. It's what you would have done.
Ooh!
What would Adelaide do right now?
I don't know if I would have broken into the director's
I
office.
immediately polished my badge and went to the
Uh-huh.
restricted area
Silver kind of
Oh.
looks platinum in the dark.
Yeah, right.
and read a book from the bookshelf. And then that led me to a closed door, locked with runes that would probably kill me if I tried to open it.
Ooh.
Once again, not entirely out of the. I'm not surprised by there being scary rune marked doors in that space.
A locked
If
room, you
they're
say?
protecting all of the artifacts, it would make sense.
And it leads to the 6th floor. The window has been propped open, so it shouldn't be shut.
By you.
Propped it open by myself.
Okay, all right. 'Cause there's a very different situation.
Taffy.
Um,
Taffy.
What did you do? Shove it in the window lock?
Doesn't blow up the building.
Oh, don't
It
get
would
ahead of me.
improve it.
Shh, Logan. Shh. You didn't hear anything. Then yeah. All right. We'll just,
Pardon me, there's a giant living leather coat coming this way that I don't want to talk to, so I'm going to step away from it.
Big
I
hop.
assume you're talking to Proctor Bovine. Yes, Proctor Veen is on his way. I was just about to say that, which is perfect. That's great. Thank you. As Arthur kind of slips off, and he doesn't really pay any attention because, again, you're free to talk to anybody you want. He's ready. come this way.
I do hope he's alright.
He is sweating very much.
Has he been poisoned?
I don't think so. He's just very nervous.
Well, you put him in a room for questioning. That would stand to reason. We'll talk to him.
And they guide you to this room, and it's a fairly large room with this kind of bay door at the back that's been rolled up and rolled back down and locked. And Brindlehooves is there with a little cushion to sit on, and there's a couple of chairs in there for you guys. Unfortunately, there's only two. And he opens the door and lets you guys go inside.
Hold me back! Hold me back! How dare you kill him! How dare you!
Merrick, we're going to play a game. It's called Reasonable Cop and Silent Cop.
But I didn't bring my handcuffs.
We're not at that stage yet.
Oh God, it's
Stay
you guys.
on.
Oh, I don't know if I want to be here anymore.
Well, we can make this a very quick interaction if we can just all be upfront with each other.
I really don't want. I didn't hurt that guy. I didn't even know what was going on. I was just over there standing with other people around. That was it.
Are you okay,
Right.
Brindlehooves?
I'm fine. It'd be much better if I wasn't here.
Right.
I can't do that. I don't want to be here anymore. I really just want to go. So butter my ass or whatever. Let me get the hell out of here.
It's his new curse. Oh, butter my ass.
Butter my butt and call me a biscuit. So, we just need to know. There was a noise that was made while the lights were out. Sounded like the screeching of a small child.
Of indeterminate gender, yes.
Of indeterminate gender. Are you scared of the dark?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear any noise. Nobody made any kind of noise.
Spotlight.
Did you just turn the lights out?
Yes.
I don't know what you're trying to prove here. I'm very, very concerned about my well-being right now. So I would really like to be leaving. And I think I'm done seeing you people ever in my life.
We understand that you have found yourself in several very unfortunate circumstances, and on behalf of the Birchfield Institute, we would like to apologize for the inconvenience and the harm to your person and the emotional distress you may have been put through these subsequent interactions.
Do you have a script or something? Because that's exactly what the last guy said to me. Like,
Well,
word
when
for
you-
word, that was exactly it.
I have a very good memory for reading the manual.
All right. Because I really would like to go now. Can I go?
We need to know why you're so nervous, Brindlehooves.
I'm not nervous. I'm nervous because I'm in a room and I'm being accused of something that I didn't do, and I don't like it, and I want to go.
To be fair, Mr. Brindlehooves, you were nervous before you were placed in the room.
Yes, I know, because somebody just died. I'm sorry if I'm the only one in this entire place that gets nervous when
No.
somebody dies in a big room where no noises were made at all.
Mr. Brindlehooves, she keeps doing that because they're like in an official capacity. Brindlehooves, you have a sort of extrasensory perception, don't you? You can sort of sense magic, I believe. Is that correct?
No, not really. It was blocked
No.
by the bow tie.
Beg pardon.
The bow tie. Remember, he's wearing a bow tie on his horn.
Oh, right.
It's blocked. Anything on the horn kind of blocks it.
Right. Would that block things that might
It
have
kinda
been
l-
projected in
every-
people's.
Projected? What do you mean?
Like if there was something that perhaps was extrasensory that the room was exposed to, a sound that didn't exist but they were trying to make a sound, like an illusory thing, would the bow tie also prevent you from experiencing that?
It wasn't shoved in my ears, but I suppose there's maybe sounds that, unicorns can't hear. That might have been what happened.
Like a
like-
unicorn whistle.
Like a reverse unicorn whistle, yes.
It's not a high pitch, it's just just like his
Wah.
tone. Yeah. Oh my god. All right.
That would explain why all of us heard something different or saw something, because then if it was magically induced,
Marshfield's got great
Ship
ideas,
delivery.
giving us snacks. But do you need some refreshments, Brindle Hooves?
Oh, it's not.
here, have some
it's-
cotton,
it's
Brindle.
cotton.
Have some hay.
Really
It's hay.
tasty.
Oh.
It's candy hay.
We're in
Until
imagination
Merrick goes
now.
over and swats it to the ground. You get nothing.
No. keep on
So
your
yeah.
thread. Keep on your thread, Bonnie. What are you thinking?
If it was an illusion to throw everybody off the track, and Brindlehooves is basically like an anti-magic field at the moment, that would explain.
No,
why
I'm not like an anti-magic field. I would have been affected by illusions. I know what illusion magic is. I'm just saying that sometimes when things are covering my horn, it just lowers the sensitivity, and I don't like it.
Okay, well then I got nothing.
God damn it! Oh my god!
Wow!
There she is. There she is. She got it. Oh. Sometimes I'm like, we can lower the rating on this podcast.
Nope.
No.
And
No.
sometimes I get reminded. It's like, nope, gotta keep that explicit checked.
That took me way too long.
It did.
Yes, it
really
did.
Must have been a magnum.
Oh.
Hey!
God damn it. Anyway,
Sorry.
no, it's fine. Can I?
I'm sorry.
I would like to.
You're all stuck in the cell.
Adelaide is watching Brindle Hooves this whole time that he's answering and trying to assess whether or not he seems sincere
Give
when
me an
he...
insight check.
All right, thank you.
Thank
That
you
was
for
a
asking
very
it for it
thought-
that way. That was
Okay,
a very good way of asking for it.
thank you. I'm usually asking for it. Fucking kidding me. God damn it.
Actually, I was going to say,
Five.
I was going to say advantage because of,
Thank God, thank
Merrick's bad cop kind of put him on edge.
12.
So 12, it's hard to tell. He might just really be nervous. You really are having a hard time
I'm having a hard time
determining.
with every roll today. Sure. All right.
Colleen's gonna lay a hand on Adelaide's shoulder. Adelaide, you are one of the brightest minds of our time. If anyone can figure this out, I know you can. And she's going to give you inspiration.
Okay, go ahead and roll the inspiration.
Sure.
Let's add it on top. We'll see.
It's a D8.
It'll be a 1.
Yeah, watch. No, it's just not
think
even jinxing. That's just fact. That's just what's gonna
I was gonna
happen.
say, if I say it's gonna be a 1, it'll be higher, hopefully. I mean, it's
It's a 2. It's higher.
Jesus.
So
It's
that's
double.
Yeah, it's 14.
Still not much more that you're getting out of that. He does. You do kind of get the feeling there's something he's not telling you, but you don't know what that could be. You're not like you don't know if it's related or not, and it could be just him being really nervous and maybe he has a crush on Merrick.
Can I use thaumaturgy to make the sound I heard like right behind him?
Sure. So
I do that.
Give me a performance check.
Jesus Christ. Whoever that is.
With advantage because you made the sound earlier.
A real life performance check, like you actually perform it.
It's
No.
really good that you
But
gave me
300
advantage.
times louder.
No. There's different ones. There is one that makes my voice really loud, but one of the effects of thaumaturgy is to create an instantaneous sound.
But you already made the noise.
I know.
I wish I could quickly map sounds because then I would put it in one of my keys and be like.
That's a 16.
So as the sound goes off almost perfectly behind Brindlehose yelps out the exact same noise.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
are
it was
holding
me. Every time the lights go off, I think they're going to take my kidneys again.
Again, I have concerns.
Wait, what?
Excuse me.
Your name
And
isn't
he's gonna-
Brindlehose, is it? It's
I had to-
Charlie.
I had to change it when I left Big Rock Candy Mountain. So he breaks down crying and admits his secret shame that yes, he makes horribly weird sounds when he gets startled. He seems to be very embarrassed by them.
It's all right. It's okay. We just need to be able to ascertain the origins of all the information that we have. Any clue could help us with what's going on here, and if we can factor something out as being unimportant, you've directly helped with the investigation.
Just
So don't feel
bawling.
bad.
He's
It's
not
okay.
making any pay. He's not even paying attention.
Someone
Bonnie is
be
trying to
mater-
calm him down.
Yeah, someone
Uh,
be maternal.
So Proctor Veen is already opening the big bay door behind him.
Is there a maternal
He
call?
sees us it's like, wow, you guys are tough.
Yeah.
You made him cry.
And he's letting him know that he can go now. He can pick up his things, his bow tie and his butter as on the way out.
He had butter packets in his
He doesn't
pocket.
go anywhere without them. You never know when you're actually going to try to fit through a door. So unfortunately, that lead kind of petered out, but at least you've eliminated something.
Mhm.
So he gets back over. Proctor Veen. All right. Well, I don't know what else there is. We'll have to keep looking and thinking. If you have anything, let me know. And feel free to look into this a little yourselves if you need to. We need answers. But come to me with anything you find. Don't push.
Thank you,
Don't
sir.
Understood.
Don't
Do you
push
really
what?
want him to define that?
Don't overstep our bounds as silver proctors. If something is over our heads, we go to him.
Yes.
You know, stay on the floors we're supposed to be on.
Yes. Why would you
Right.
think that some floor is not a floor you need to be on?
You know, if it's like
I
You know,
assume
the-
there's
the-
private executive suites or something.
the executive bathrooms. you know.
Don't go
Sure,
through any
there's
locked doors. How about that?
Sounds good.
Like, they're not locked anymore. So,
What about gummed windows?
all right. So you guys are free to go off and do what you want to do at this point. So what do you guys want to do besides find Arthur?
Before he goes away,
Oh, okay.
Maracudas like, what's in that direction on the premises?
A gross, dirty pond. Sometimes
All
there's
right.
good fishing.
Perfect. Good. Great.
Catch
Are we allowed
toads,
to leave
eat
the
them
premises?
whole.
Can we?
Is there a reason you would not be allowed? You've been released.
Oh,
We
all
have
right.
no further leads.
I must have missed that part. I'm
Are
sorry.
you acting suspicious?
Am I acting suspicious?
That's sort of his MO. It's not to be taken as suspicious or unusual.
We need proctors of all types. I accept this. And he kind of turns and leaves. Yeah, you were released before, but you were asked to stick around to talk to Brindlehooves.
As Merrick was talking to him, what's his face, Bo, Mr. Veen, Adelaide would have tried to send her hawk off to go find Arthur. Just like, can you go He went that way. Can you go see if you
So
can find
yeah,
him?
a hawk comes and lands near Arthur and starts pecking at him playfully. What was Arthur doing during that time?
Who's a good bird? He was eating.
Yeah, all right.
Who is a good
So the hawk's looking at the sandwich.
bird?
There is no sandwich anymore.
Damn it.
He can have some crumbs.
You guys were gone for 20 minutes. There's no way. All right.
What about second sandwich?
Second sandwich.
I reach into my coat.
And then Adelaide can speak telepathically with the bird if it's within 300 feet of her. So if Arthur's within 300 feet, hopefully the hawk told her, like, found him.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less parrot, but
Found him, right? Found
Very
him. Brindle
dignified.
Screech. Found him. So yeah, so you find him and then you guys meet back up.
well, did Merrick tell us about the compass
Mhm.
and where it was pointing and stuff? Well, maybe we should look into the compass situation. It was found on the premises and where it definitely shouldn't have been.
Seems to be the fastest lead of all of them. Perhaps the only lead. Aside from going through doors we're not supposed to go through.
I won't tell if you
True.
don't tell.
It
Well,
didn't
having
go
a
through
reason
that
to go
one.
through them.
Right.
Depending on what we find, we're probably going to have to tell Proctor Veen about this also, eventually.
Right, but I want to have something concrete to present to him.
Agreed.
So we need to. I mean, I have to imagine there's just a vault in the lower levels of that building. So just
Or what if somebody chucked it out the window into a pond to hide the compass? Hide the other one.
It is a rather unassuming thing.
That is
And if the
possible.
pond is scummy, it's not like anybody's going to go looking for it in there.
right.
They don't exactly know who we are.
You could have Abe's and Nougat maybe search it.
They are
Straight
not
up.
anywhere near here anymore.
Mm.
You don't know where any of the other guests went.
I might be able to do something if it's not a super deep pond.
I mean, it's a pond, not a lake.
Yeah, I can
Let's-
do something.
If it's
Let's
deep
Go check
just
it
enough,
out.
I'll just.
look.
My dress is already ruined at this point. If it's too deep,
Well,
I'll just.
let's.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about
Sure,
that, guys.
sure.
Sorry, my stupid magic sickness stuff
your
got
fault.
us covered in paint again.
It's all our magic sickness. We're
Merrick,
all. in
Merrick,
this
you
together.
look fine. Good job.
Yes,
I feel
Merrick, you
fine.
look fine.
He
Thank you.
managed to
Hey.
dodge it.
You were busy getting the compass, so I do not begrudge the fact that he is clean. We needed that distraction.
I know. Doesn't mean I have to be happy about it.
All right, so let's go to the pond then.
All right, so you guys head out the front door, around the side where Arthur had seen the window open, and kind of continue past that, around the outside of the walls, and this pond, as it is, kind of pushes the boundaries between pond and lake. It's fairly large.
Can I cast detect magic?
Sure.
Try to see if I could find the compass. Presumably has a signature.
And,
Yeah.
Merrick will open the compass as well to try to get
Right.
a heading.
Okay. So Adelaide, as you detect magic, you detect this compass, and watching Merrick kind of move around, you see that moving just around kind of the third of the lake, you almost get a full 90-degree turn on it. So you kind of triangulate that while it's not, right next to the shore, it's maybe 30, 40 feet out, which
Okay.
it should be within your range, except that you don't really know how much water blocks your spell, especially scummy, gross water. So unfortunately, you can't detect anything. But if this is to be believed, it is out there, just sort of down still. So a ways, about 30, 40 feet out from the edge.
Adelaide points out there. Well,
All right. Bonnie kicks off her shoes and just peels the dress over her head and
All right. I can clean you when you get back.
I didn't see anything, Merrick. nothing at all.
I did. I saw everything.
Bonnie, you're heading into the water. Now, can you breathe underwater?
No, but I have a swim speed at least.
Okay. So you are
So I can be quick.
slow in this water because of how thick it is.
Ugh.
So your swim speed is even slower, about 5 feet slower than normal. So
Okay.
if your speed is normally 30, normally it'd be a swim speed of 15, you're about a speed of 10.
My swim speed is actually 30 feet, so it's 25 minutes, 5 feet slower.
Okay. And as you are swimming out there, you get about halfway out there, and a very large part of the kind of scum floating at the top of the water next to you starts to move. Roll initiative.
Naked body, no!
Well, to be fair, your dress wasn't giving you much armor.
It's true. Yeah, but I don't have any of my weapons on me either, because I wasn't going to take them in the water.
Oh no.
You thought it was going to be a roleplay episode.
I'm so glad I have a really kick-ass initiative
15.
bonus. But yeah, it sucks.
Or
when
are we
I'm
all rolling?
Shitty.
Everybody's rolling.
18.
I got an 18 as well, unless I have a bonus, which I don't think I do. What level are you guys now? Just want to make sure I didn't
9.
break this.
9.
Yeah, don't kill us, please. First episode back. You're all dead. TPK.
Yeah, please no.
21.
You're all playing the part of Robin.
Everyone is Robin. Oh no.
So we all just have sticks up our butts. Understood.
Who put them there?
Actually, no.
So-
Everyone's
oh,
Robin.
wait,
We all just go
what-
limp.
What did Adelaide get?
I got a 14. I rolled a 7, so like I have a pretty baller initiative, but I rolled like shit.
So who goes first between Arthur and DM?
I don't know if I have a bonus yet. 1 second.
I have a +2.
My magic, my war cat, or my
Well, if I have a
war
bonus, I'll go
mageness.
because I'll have a bonus. So I'm gonna add to it.
It's a little.
Yes, I'm getting flashbacks of the. I'm getting flashbacks of the end of the Addams Family movie.
Right.
All the little legs.
The little legs. I get to stuff the bottom of the dragon now.
Bonnie has to go to Merrick and be like, Merrick, it's a kraken.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my war magic gives me my intelligence bonus adds to my initiative bonus. So if I keep cranking up my intelligence, probably won't though.
I mean, does the Birchfield Institute have cephalopaternity leave?
Oh,
I love you so much, Kyle.
Sponsored by Winston's former owner.
Oh no.
yeah. It's a fuck, what's it called? It's a trust in Winston's name.
No, I'm still heartily amused at the paint tan lines comment from Matthew in chat.
Bonnie
about
has
Bonnie.
tie-dye tan lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're all gonna have weird tie-dye tan lines from wherever we got painted.
Tonight's episode is sponsored by Die Hard Dice.
Yes, it is.
Like in the chat right now. Heather, we actually have a special code now.
I know.
The
I
special
forgot.
If you use the code Goonies, you get 15% off your first and next purchase. And if you haven't bought from Dagger Dice, what the heck are you waiting for? They're amazing.
They're gorgeous. Like the dice that
They're
I'm
so
rolling
pretty.
tonight. They're
I
battle worn copper. They're great.
I really should get to rolling my metal dice because the digital roller and the plastic roller I was using on Monday, none of it liked me, and then I rolled on the Die Hard dice, no joke, got a nat 20. And I was like, that clearly is the answer.
Skinny dipping combat beans. Yep, that's Bonnie in a nutshell right now.
All right. So, I have a initiative is +0, so Merrick will be going first.
All right. So this pond scum moved.
Yeah, and it looks like it's fairly fast as it starts to just dart towards Bonnie. You can actually see some like bones and things start to kind of protrude out as it kind of lifts up above the surface tension of the water.
I'm sorry. Did you say bones protruding?
Yeah,
Like one does. Okay.
sort of like things that have been caught and killed or eaten by this, and the bones are still in there. Might use as armor or weapons, like knives and stabbing weapons.
So is Bonnie adjacent to this thing?
Yep.
Great. I'm gonna go ahead and draw my short bow and attack. Let me go ahead and pull up my attack stuff.
Why don't you pull up your attack stuff?
I can do that. That is a 15 to hit.
All right. So you, what are you doing exactly?
Firing a short bow.
All right. So you pull back your bow and you loose an arrow. Is it just gonna be one arrow, or are you gonna be rapid firing?
I'm pretty much I can only attack once per round.
At level 9?
Yup.
Oh, rogue, right. So that does hit.
Okay, wonderful. So I will declare the damage separately in case it doesn't take sneak attack. I don't know what wouldn't, but we'll go ahead and say
No,
that
it takes sneak attack.
awesome. That
Remember,
is
you
exactly what I-
you study creatures to know right where to hit them. You start shooting in his bone.
So that's 4 on the first one, 7, 11, and one more die is 15 plus 4, so 19 points of piercing damage.
All right, 19 points of piercing damage, which it will take. Hold on. Yeah, all of. Interesting. All right. Piercing, the weapon kind of sits and just kind of shatters one of the bones as it kind of sticks in, and the whole thing just kind of lurches in the water. Seems very upset about that. Who's next?
You lump of you lump of nothing. Come on, over here, and you stay away from her. I haven't even touched her yet.
Give me a. Nope. Just for that, it turns and starts to go right past Bonnie towards you, and it starts to lift up out of the water this huge-sized creature that is just basically all pond scum. It almost looks like Mortimer from Bugs Bunny. You know, the kind of large orange creature, but it's just green and slime and huge with just bones and sticks and things protruding out. And it's got arms with huge like trunks of wood coming out as it comes over at you and attacks.
Huge chunks of wood.
And that's natural 20. So
Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. I finally remembered I have my stupid thing.
Yay! Your stupid thing.
Sentinel at the Death's Door. Yeah, as a reaction, if a creature I can see within 30 feet suffers a critical hit, I can turn it into a normal hit.
how often do you do that?
It's my wisdom modifier per long rest, so 4 times.
That's gonna dovetail really nicely with my armor.
So you only take 20 bludgeoning damage and 6 acid damage,
Holy crap!
and you are grappled as it kind of just
I'm really-
consumes you into parts of it.
I'm really
No.
glad I remembered I had that.
No.
You are harkened back to inner space when he digested the enemy. You kind of feel that. You're feeling that right now.
No, I don't. No. I'm in a
Who's
happy
next?
place where nothing can hurt me.
Arthur.
Arthur.
So it's now within
It's now,
reach.
Yeah, you can be
of
adjacent
my-
or you're
my
either
war
adjacent
pick?
or close.
All right. Going to use a booming blade. Pull up my war pick. I'm also going to use a bonus action to hex the creature with a curse.
Question, Logan.
Yes.
Can I roll for my familiar?
Yeah, that's fine.
Like put them in initiative,
Yeah,
or should
just
just
remember
go
they
with me?
can't really attack.
They can do the aid action.
That's a house rule, but yes, they can.
Oh, sorry.
No, maybe it's not a house rule.
Is that okay?
But yes, absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
You want me to roll for them or just use them in my turn?
Your choice.
I'll just keep it simple.
So what'd you get, Arthur?
Nothing. I was letting Angela talk.
Sorry, Mike.
24
Hits.
to hit on the first attack.
Mhm. And what type of damage is this?
This is piercing
Okay.
with a war pick, and because I cursed it, I just rolled a 19, which becomes a critical hit now on my second attack.
Okay.
So, sorry, we haven't done this in a long time. Damage for the first attack is that's a 1 plus.
We do this every week, so I don't know where you've been.
Yeah, I'm doing things.
Yeah.
7 and then 11 from 7 piercing and 4 thunder damage.
Okay, just roll all that together. So how much is it total? Because all of them, you take all of them.
That was 11
11 total.
on the first attack. Yeah, the second one was a crit,
Okay.
which is going to be
More than that.
Yeah, because he gets max dice.
it's going to start at 22.
Well, if I could have crit, I could have had something like that too.
And then I didn't roll very well again. Another 8, so total 30. So 41.
41. Got it. Okay. All right.
Wait. I also get a +4 to my damage rolls, so add another 8 because of the
From-
curse.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that every damage roll?
Against the cursed target, you gain a +4 bonus to damage rolls.
Nice. All right.
I can only do this curse once a rest.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So yeah. So as you're just sitting there and you cursed it, and then your mother was a hamster, and then you run up and that's one we've got to be tracking. And you just start hitting it with the pick, and the pick, because of the piercing, is just snapping, and you hear twig and bone inside just breaking, and it just like starts to like
Drop
grab its
Mary.
leg, and
Put him down.
as you're just sitting there and beating the crap out of him.
He's not dead yet. This is still going off of the same.
I am with you.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
He doesn't want to go on the cart.
That you then have to lift and throw.
Yes, as part of training, proctor training. That's my turn. I'm going to stay there and.
Well, we didn't say that's one earlier, so it doesn't count, Angela.
Okay.
I was gonna say that's actually two,
Alright.
but okay.
Nobody said
That's
that's
fine.
one.
All right.
So I didn't even
like that, but
I
okay.
I didn't even hear it.
That does okay.
New
That does
New
seem
canon
like
for
a-
the rule is that we
but
have to
okay.
call it out. We have to
All right,
call
all
it
right,
out in
all
order-
right,
in
all
order
right.
for it to count.
Agreed, approved, and
If somebody's
seconded.
making a Monty Python joke, we can stop for half a second to say that's one and play Bad Horse. All right. So,
I'm with you, Angela. It was two.
Adelaide is
Speak
up.
to in here. Okay. And we have a decent view of this thing.
oh yeah, it's
Right.
15 feet tall,
Okay.
standing right in front of
Yeah.
Merrick and consuming him. Yep.
Well then,
Into
yeah,
its
yeah,
body.
that would count.
He
I think
is
that would count.
Homer. He is being absorbed into the brush,
into the book,
Oh,
into
no.
the shrub.
but not voluntarily.
Okay, so Adelaide's going to loose an arrow.
Just one.
I mean two. I have two actions, or I have two attacks. So sure. No, I didn't.
Am I the only one that missed the one earlier? Really?
Yeah. So I rolled a 12
Okay.
and a 17.
All right. The 17 hits.
Okay. Ooh, very nice. For 11 piercing damage.
Okay. Perfect.
And
Once again, it just you hear this just kind of like this very satisfying hit as it just kind of pierces through the muck that seems to be what's kind of protecting it and hits whatever's vital inside.
I'm going to use my action surge. For 15? Trying to inch towards that AC.
When are you going to start rolling your die hard dice?
15. Yes, that hits.
15 hits. All right. Yes, found the line. And that's another 10 piercing. So that's 21 total. Oh gosh. Merrick.
Merrick, we love you
Oh,
too.
no.
Okay. another 10
That's not
hits.
what that means.
Merrick. Yes, it is.
Uh-oh.
That's hint, hint. Val, hint, hint.
I
Just a
know.
subtle one. Just a subtle one.
So since I was the only one that missed it earlier, and even the audience was calling me out, I'm going to go ahead and take the penalty. So as Arthur is stabbing it with this curse and all of these things going on, and Merrick is kind of being absorbed by him, some of your corruption evidently passed on to him, your magic poisoning, or maybe he has his own from living so close to the birch field, as he all of a sudden starts to kind of levitate, but not in any way that he seems to be able to control it. So he just kind of starts rolling sideways, and he's kind of flailing a little bit, trying to swim through the air. Merrick is going as well, but he's going to be at a penalty now as he starts to attack on his next turn. So who's next?
My hawk is going to fly up into the thing's face and flap around quite a lot and attempt to impede its attempt to attack us next.
Okay,
And then Bonnie.
Bonnie.
It's still looking for food.
Yeah.
So
Are there any breadcrumbs on here?
when this thing moved, does any of the water around get clearer? So I can't.
Not clear. The scum on the top goes, but not really clearer. And in front of you, there's still scum. It's just where it went through behind you to get to Merrick. So no, it didn't really help that. Although it's not as hard to move right here. So you think you can get the rest of the way at least close to where you're supposed to be in a single turn here.
Okay. So she's going to move over to where she's supposed to be, and then, is it still within, say, 60 feet of me?
Who is what? The creature?
The creature, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then she's
Give me a
gonna
perception
go,
check.
Alright.
Better be singular creature.
That is a 24.
Okay. So as you are about to turn, you see up in front of you a maybe 1.5 foot sized lump of this kind of greenish muck just kind of start to move as you got closer and kind of swims away. This similar fashion to what this creature just did.
It swam away from me.
Yeah, very quickly. They seem to be very good swimmers, whatever they are.
And of course, I don't have the compass. So I should have taken the compass so I could have checked.
Is there any reason you wouldn't have taken the compass? I was pushing you guys. to go fast.
Waterlogging? I don't know.
You found it
seemed
under
like-
the
I mean-
water. You literally
Yeah,
found
yeah.
it under the
You're
water.
right. You're right.
I don't think there's any reason you
know.
wouldn't have taken it with you. It doesn't make sense. Like, how would you have known where
Yeah,
to
you need
dive?
to be locating it. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I pushed you guys faster because I wanted to move on, but so I think that's fine. You have the compass with you.
Okay, so does it, as the thing is swimming away from me, does it appear to be moving the needle?
No. As you
okay,
hold
I
it
wanted
up,
to
it's
make sure
still
it didn't,
pointing
like,
pretty much straight
swallow it.
down. No. Whatever that
I wanna
creature
make
is
sure it
does not
didn't
have it
swallow
or
it.
not steal it.
Okay, then she's going to. Oh, she's gonna be more concerned about the one that has Merrick. And is going to.
That's you.
Aw.
But still,
Yeah.
That's
She's
the
gonna
sound of Merrick
cast-
taking on water.
Yeah.
She is gonna cast
And pond
polymorph on it,
On
the
excuse me?
creature, and
What?
try and turn it into something that'll drop Merrick.
Into a chicken.
What?
Turn it into a
I'm
chicken.
going
you
to
polymorph
cast
on a creature?
On
on
an
a creature.
unwilling
You
creature.
Can, yep.
Mhm.
An unwilling creature must make a wisdom saving throw to avoid
alright.
the effect.
Cool.
People always turn themselves into
I'm
dragons,
sh-
so it's hard
I'm
to remember
sure
sometimes.
pseudo-sentient oozes are very good at wisdom.
Well, one of them ran away. That was a very wise decision.
Well, I mean, it's tiny. So 7 minus 4 is a 3.
He is a chicken.
Okay, so now there's a chicken just kind of like floating, weightless in midair, rotating around as Merrick kind of drops to the ground.
Well, to the water, so there's a cushion.
No,
We'll be
there was no.
okay.
It was outside of the water.
Damn it. Sorry, I
But
didn't realize
again,
that.
he's
I
not.
didn't
He's
realize
not falling
it
that
was
far. I mean, it's not. It's not that. You fall. And with your dexterity, you land on your feet. So it's not a. It wasn't that far up.
You're just sizzling. It's fine.
All right. So how long does that last?
Concentration up to 1 hour.
Okay.
Bonnie, dive!
Bonnie's gonna dive.
All right. Well, we're out of initiative then, as long as someone's going to attack it.
Yeah. Val's gonna run over and heal Merrick.
Okay. Merrick.
It's one of those
Hi.
days I wish I had a
need
regular
you
bag
to
of
make
holding.
me a dexterity saving throw as you were slumped out of it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Where'd my die go? There we are.
The thing ate it.
Lords, I hope not. That's a 19 on the die, so a lot.
So you don't lose anything
Um,
important, but one of your mundane items is destroyed at random,
Okay.
and nothing
Amen.
important, nothing plot
Okay.
or anything like that. Don't worry about that. Just your rope or whatever, just something inconvenient. Bonnie, as you're just about to dive down across the pond, you see the creature kind of get up and out, and this little dumpy version of that big creature kind of waddles off into the brush. It's about 1.5 feet tall.
Okay.
All right.
So she's gonna dive and keep concentration on the spell.
Okay. So it is about, you can't touch bottom here. So it is deeper than that. It's about 15-20 feet. It is going to be hard to be holding your breath, going down into the water, not being able to see. I'm just going to, every time you go down, when you're looking around, I'm going to have you make a concentration check.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So go ahead, do your first dive. The first thing I want from you is to find out if you find it. So give me an investigation check that's discerning clues and things from the direction and the murkiness and places you've checked before.
17.
Okay, so the first time out, you get it. You've got it in your hand. So you reach down and you just were able to read the clues on the compass really well, and you're like, I think it's right below me. Kind of move your hands around, but give me a concentration check as you're under the water, and you kind of spend a little more time, obviously, than you normally do. But actually, I'm going to give you advantage on it, which is strange because you spend so much time in the water because you're by the water all the time. So you're a very good swimmer.
Well, I'm very glad you did that because that was a natural 2.
Well,
But because of the advantage, that is a 17.
okay, so you're fine. The concentration stays for that round. You get up to the top. Right before Bonnie surfaces, after about the 30 seconds or so she's under the water, maybe upwards of a minute, you start to hear from the bush, the brush over on the side of this, you start to hear this kind of weird gurgling wailing sound, from kind of a distressing noise. As Bonnie, you surface, you hear that as well as this chicken is still kind of floating and bucking in midair.
I'm gonna put you back. Just let me get out of the water.
I hold out like my cloak or something for her as she's coming out of the water.
Okay.
Prestidigitate the mud off of her.
Okay. All right. So she's clean and sparkly.
Help with
and
something. She's just covered in paint
naked.
still.
Yeah, there's that.
It's like a body painting. It's all. It's very tasteful.
It's like a
Miracle
Jackson
divert
Pollock.
his attention by pushing the chicken out over the pond.
Okay,
It's
it just
kind
kind of
of
like
floating.
starts floating and just kind of
Just like gently, so it's not gonna like just careen into a tree.
It is started
Murder
as
this
you
thing's
push it though. It starts to realize it can kind of flap its wings to fly around a little bit.
Oh no!
So it's actually like swimming or flying away from you. But whatever this creature's normal mode of propulsion is, seems to have it stressing its body out in weird ways. So it does poop a little, and it lays an egg.
Well, that's probably a new experience for it.
The second Bonnie is out of the water with the compass, it's over the water, she's gonna drop concentration so it can just go back inside.
So I want you to think about what this experience has been like for this creature. Not a very intelligent creature. All it understands is it was defending its home, and then all of a sudden something strange, very strange happened, and then several strange things after that happened. And it just reappears over here with its
weird
child
shit happens
wailing, and
Yeah.
it just kind of swims and runs over to the brush, and they kind of disappear into it.
Sorry.
Sometimes it's hard to feel like the good guys.
Yeah.
At least it didn't have to, spend time considering a bowl of petunias.
Mm-hmm.
That's one.
I don't know that
I
one.
mean, it could have been
It's a
worse. We
hijacker.
didn't kill it.
I think it's from mostly harmless.
So let's take a look, Bonnie, at your spoils.
She pulls both compasses out. There we go.
Congrats, you have both compasses.
Yeah,
We
that's
haven't seen the
definitely
other
one.
one yet.
Looks identical. There's some
Okay.
markings and some wear and tear that's a little different, but they were made the same. But yeah, there's definitely, you can definitely tell which one was the one you found.
What happens if they touch?
The world explodes.
On this plane of existence, nothing that you can tell.
They both start to smell like pond scum.
All right. Well, I don't know if there's anything to be put together here, but
Well, if it was
Robin
dropped
had
in
access.
here, which window?
sure.
It could
Oh.
have been the one Arthur saw someone go into.
Did you hear a
No,
splash or anything?
I didn't
when you
see
saw
somebody
it?
go into a window. I saw somebody close a window on the 6th floor,
Right.
And-
Maybe after tossing something.
possibly.
Wonder if there's something that the compasses can do that we're not aware of yet.
Well, I mean,
Maybe.
I identified as much as I could.
We haven't used them both at the same time, have we?
Well,
No.
I mean, we've
No, I
used one
suppose
side of them.
not.
Try using them both at once.
They point at each other, and it's kind of fun. It's like using a magnet next to a compass. It's like, woo.
Hello, Arthur. Arthur, can you hear me?
Well, he's standing right next to you, so yes.
Yes, I'm right beside you.
That's one.
Is there any sort of feedback?
No. You sound fine to me.
Right, so does this qualify as something over our pay grade?
I mean, the item probably does because we're not supposed to have it.
But it's not supposed to
And-
be outside of wherever it was being stored.
Also true.
Yes, we are certainly not in charge of that. So I vote we go speak to Proctor Veen and
I
report
agree.
our findings.
Were you mentioning the window?
I think we should.
I think we should.
Agreed.
We need
How
to
about-
make sure they
You
know
might need
that
to
someone
take
got.
that Taffy away.
How about the door with the runes?
I mean,
I think investigating that floor would probably be sufficient. We don't have to tell him anything about you snooping around.
Well, and that room that you went into was on a completely different side of the building, so it's not even pertinent to what may have been thrown out of the window on this side of the building.
Let's just give him the pertinent information that we could have had from down here.
Okay. But can we make rules with it so that we have to go investigate with him?
We could request following up with him. I mean, especially since we brought so much information, we could probably have developed a bit of clout.
We could
She says,
definitely,
hopefully.
we could definitely try. If it's anything like the hierarchy over at the Knights, it's going to be hit or miss and partly depend on how impressed he is with us.
Won't know till you ask. Let's.
Merrick, why don't you be impressive cop?
Stoically, quietly impressive.
have you
I'm just
have you
kidding,
got
you-
any
you
of
don't
those eye ray bands that you can?
A silent image.
Sunglasses.
They're just like deal with it. Like
All right, so
the
you guys-
things that deal with.
You guys start to head inside to find Proctor
Yeah.
Veen.
And there's also a giant watch hanging from your...
Puts an extra collar inside Merrick's collar.
It's popped.
It's made
How
out
do
of
you like
bubble
him
wrap.
now, Bonnie?
Bubble wrap collars. So you can pop your collar while you pop your collar.
Oh my god.
So,
We go find Veen.
no, you head inside.
We go to
and
look for Veen.
While you are looking for Veen out in the lobby, you see that they are packing up. That's a horrible way to say it. They are moving Robin's body. They are getting it. They've finished the investigation of the area there. They are putting him onto a stretcher, and two bronze proctors are moving his body downstairs to the morgue.
Adelaide goes up to one of the people moving him. Excuse me, have they
yes, ma'am.
have they done anything to preserve the body?
They cast something
repose or
called
something of that
reposing gentle repose or something like that.
Yes,
Some sort of
Gentle
spell.
I just wanted to
repose.
make sure.
Yes,
I wanted to make
I
sure
don't
that
know
was
what
what they
fencing
used.
terms have to do with that, but
I just wanted to be sure of that. Thank you.
oh well, yes, of course. Yeah, they said that there was some sort of poison involved.
That sounds about right. Thank you very much for your help. Does he have a pin?
Yeah, they're bronze. They're both bronze.
Bronze. Yeah. That was all. You can continue.
Oh, thank you.
Merrick, are you still feeling good? You were
Uh,
poked a little bit.
as there's a detect poison spell if you're that concerned about it. There-
Before you guys leave,
Oh,
did
yeah,
they
yes,
say
ma'am?
anything about the kind of poison?
And one kind of looks back. The other one goes, something. something like gasping, something last gasp, something like that. And then Val, the check we had you make last time, out of off of camera, things comes through, and you know that information. It is very, very extremely rare. It's actually considered mythical. You've never seen it or heard of it, but you do know that it is a type of poison that makes it basically so that you cannot be resurrected at all. It turns you undead back. True resurrection could probably do it, but true resurrection is even really beyond the Birchfield. There's just not a spell that the Birchfield really can command. Only the most powerful clerics in the world could do that. Wish might be able to do it as well.
Thank you. That's all.
Okay.
Why would someone want to do something that severe?
I don't know. Maybe he knew something they really didn't
Probably
want him to be
knew
able to say.
Yeah.
They either really wanted him out of the way and did not want a chance of him coming back for whatever reason, or yeah, he knew something or found out something that he wasn't supposed to.
I'd have to do some more research. I don't know if that poison stops you from using Speak with Dead. It might. It's like practically unheard of.
Well, is it any harm to try?
I don't have it prepared today, but I could.
No, I mean, if you can't until tomorrow, we could always... They have people who can do that, I'm sure. I just a thought. Let's keep finding Proctor Veen then.
So you start to search the premises, and Proctor Veen, nobody seems to know where they are. Not unheard of that they might be doing some other investigations or having other meetings at this point, but not in his office or anywhere. So you can't seem to track them down right now.
Do you want me to use sending?
Yes. That
Two
is...
of us have sending.
Yeah, just, I mean, there's no reason to not disclose as much as you can, since it's going to be a private message anyway.
Do you want me to, Val, or do you want to?
Just in case I have to heal one of us again, it might be better if I save my spell energy for today.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's avoid pawns.
Well, yeah, but
So,
we are in the middle of a murder investigation. You never know.
There's that. Bonnie will go ahead and cast sending. Excuse me, Proctor Veen. This is Bonnie, Silver Badge. We have some pertinent information. Where can we meet you?
You got in there. Good job.
That's 20. I thought you were going to pass on the information, but okay. I'm busy right now in meeting. Will be for a while. How continue your investigation?
She's gonna send back because I can do it a couple more times. I don't wish to push above our station. Has to do with artifacts missing from containment.
Sure.
Urgent.
Is that all you say? Yes is an acceptable answer.
Culprit may be inside building still.
Yes. The grimoire elements is missing. We know. See what you can find out.
And the compass is also missing.
Nope, you can't unless you're casting it again.
I would do.
Really? You're gonna waste the last? This is your third one, right? That's your last one.
This is my third one, and I have a fourth level spot too if I need to.
All right. So well, let me finish before you try to respond. So he says that the grimoire is missing and to continue your investigation again. Actually, I think that's all he's going to say. So what else?
She'll say that the Gemini compass is missing as well. we recovered both of them. And I'm trying to think of what other artifacts we've recovered.
The
Um,
T,
Uh,
the Infinite
the
T
T
Gauntlet.
so he
Would have
responds.
stayed with Susan.
Yeah.
Okay, go
The
ahead.
Infinite Tea Gauntlet did not stay with Susan.
Oh, I thought it did. Never mind.
I came here and then went to Susan.
And then
It did come
the
through
pearl
here.
went to them. Okay, it did.
Yeah.
The pearl, that was not the what the artifact
That was
you were
the,
going
that
for.
was the exchange.
So as you finish up, he says, someone's mentioned Robin's name. Have you searched him? That's all you get.
Someone's mentioned Robin's name. Have you searched him? She says it out loud.
Have
We
you
should
searched
search
the
Body. How the hell did no one search the body? And Adelaide starts heading for where those guys were rolling his body.
Adelaide knows where the
Come
morgue
on.
is.
In the
Even
bathroom.
though this place is
I'm
difficult to
sorry.
find. As you guys are starting to search around the morgue, perception checks.
I see nothing.
24.
Well, that's still an 11, but yeah.
15.
17.
17.
So 15's and up. As you are walking away, you look down, and in a planter next to you is W.A. Stone sitting there, just sort of camouflaged amongst other rocks nearby.
Does anyone know how to skip stones on ponds?
It's a big stone. It's like this. It's bigger than a softball.
I still say it.
You can't throw. A
I
stone
don't know
at
what
his
it is. I
face.
wasn't there actually, so I wouldn't have noticed it.
Adelaide thinks on it for a second. Mr. TR, sir, it would behoove you to not butt into Birchfield investigations. Thank you. Goodbye. And
You're not sure if it's just a coincidence or not. But as you kind of come around the next corner down a long hallway, you see Detective Toys at the end smoking not smoking his pipe, but he's got his pipe in his mouth, and he's just kind of like leaning around the corner looking at you.
she waves.
As you wave, you just kind of back around the corner.
It's Mr. Magoo, motherfucker. She's gonna.
Right?
So you guys start to head down the stairs to the morgue.
Yeah.
You get there, and inside is one of the two young men, bronze badges that you met.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh, ma'am.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
It seems that there might have been a. We need to look at the body, if it's all right. That's continuing part
Oh,
of the
of course.
investigation.
Yes. Silver badge. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Wait,
Right this way.
Where's your friend?
He's in the back.
All right.
So
Let's
you guys
just
go
head
back
back.
there, and he's back there just cleaning up the counter and taking care of another body. Natural causes. They probably do a lot of this stuff for around the city.
Or when proctors meet a grisly end. Where's Mr. Robin's body?
Oh, it's right here, and they kind of point over, and it's covered by a sheet, and it's just on a little push cart. We were going to be prepping it just to get it ready, but there you go. Do you need us? I mean, we'll be around. We're not going anywhere. We're working, but we got work to do.
We'll shout
They
if we
don't
need
seem-
anything.
Okay.
Do they seem suspicious at all, or
They
do
just
they?
seem nervous about being around 5 silver badges.
Okay.
Adelaide walks up to the body with the sheet on it. Kinda has that moment of, oh, right, I knew this person. This person's not a person anymore. And just pulls the sheet, tries to like steal herself and pulls the sheet.
So one of the things that kind of shocks you right away, though you've never seen Robin without a shirt on, he has a lot of tattoos. He's got basically a full upper body, chest, back, everything, down to about an eighth sleeve, but he's always had it covered. So just a lot of just real nice work. But he also now has this gigantic sort of tear in the center of his torso, but he is naked.
Adelaide just proceeds to look at the tattoos, looking for any patterns, anything recognizable.
No, they're just like cool tattoos. There's no
Looking for any
significance.
7-legged spiders.
No.
Dang.
Noticing
Ours
that he's
wasn't half
naked,
as
I
good
go
as
over
his.
to one of the workers. What? Sorry, Bonnie, go ahead.
Oh, she was just comparing her tattoos to Robin's. It wasn't to.
You have the advantage of being able to wear them a bit more.
So Arthur, you go over to one of the workers and do what?
Yeah, and I ask where.
Oh yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Clothes are. We are going to need his clothes that he was wearing at the time.
Oh sure, of course. They're in this box, and he kind of puts it up.
And any of his personal effects that were on.
Oh,
his
okay,
person.
they're in this box.
I'll start searching the boxes. Well, the one that I got and Merrick can search the other.
All right, so
No.
Arthur, you got his clothes, so you kind of start searching through that, and at some point, you're kind of reaching through the pockets and things, and you find a key. It's a very intricate key. It's got actually 3 different blades on it. Part of the key that actually goes in the lock, and it's kind of at this weird top, down, and side angle. Kind of looks like it might fit that lock.
Did
that
it
you
look
saw.
like the one I saw?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit, yeah. Merrick, you have his personal effects, and I'm going to need my notes for that. One
You know,
second.
Arthur, after having seen our dearly departed boss, I have to wonder, why was he so angry all the time?
Perhaps I'm missing the joke, but
It's all right.
I think
I missed it too, but it was just obnoxiously pensive for Merrick to be asking that, so it still
Yeah.
worked for me.
Merrick Strider, obnoxiously pensive. I like it.
How many wood could a woodchuck chuck?
So, Merrick, as you are looking through, nothing really seems out of place, but because of your kind of wily nature, when you pick up a bag that he carries around, he always seems to have a bag around with him, a satchel of some sort. It feels very heavy for being empty, but courtesy glance, nothing you can see. It's got some rigid reinforcements in it, which is nice, for a bag to kind of keep its shape, but and it's very sturdy leather, but it just feels a lot heavier than it should for something like this being heavy. And for you, that's a very suspicious thing. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. I'd just tell you right off that one of the things that he'd be doing in checking this out is trying to rub the layers of the fabric together.
Well, it's sturdy leather,
or
so it's
you
a
said
little
it was
hard to
leather.
do, but
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are some parts that seem thicker, but you can't tell if that's the reinforcements or what.
Okay. You said it's investigation?
Yeah, you're looking for clues and trying to discern how to open this thing.
That is a 14.
So 14, that was good enough. We're just more looking for a flub here, if it was your flub or find. With a 14, and kind of knowing what you're looking for, you do find a secret compartment, and it's actually part of the reinforcement. It's a little overstuffed. That's part of why it was a little easier to find, because inside is a large book, which is the Elemental Grimoire, which you recognize immediately because you've seen it before.
Which one of the 3?
No, you're thinking of the paintings, I think. There's only one book. right?
There were
There's
3
3
books.
It was a volume. It was
which was the
volumes.
volume that you needed to get?
We
All
got all
three.
of them. We got
Oh,
like all
shoot.
3 of the volumes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. It would have been the one from the Drow City.
That's where all 3 were.
Sorry, all of them were in the library. It was a series of books.
Then what does it matter if you got all 3 at the same time? It's one of the volumes.
Okay.
Were
So
they
it's just
different topics or something?
We
Yes.
didn't expect
Yeah.
that.
What were the
Oh, was
topics?
it? Okay.
The first one
Yeah.
was about planar travel. The second one was about creating gates.
Yep.
And
The third one was about the elemental planes.
And how
It
to
would have
control some of
been
the things
the
on them.
third one.
So the one about elemental planes.
Yes.
Okay.
And there
And-
looks like there's some bookmarks in it.
Huh.
All right. Well, just tuck that back down in there. And...
I do the same with the key. I don't.
You put it
make
back in his
obvious.
pants?
No.
Oh, you're going to keep it.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, he said he tucked it back into the bag.
Yeah.
I tuck the key back into Merrick's pants.
Okay.
Back in.
Unfortunately,
Um,
the bag and the book are fairly large. Are you going to be trying to take those with you, Merrick? You're going to leave everything here.
I have a book bag.
Yeah, then try to
So,
remove the book.
as
from the
Adelaide
bag.
looks over and sees that you
Yeah.
pull out a large book, one of the grimoire, she kind of comes over and and she opens her bag a little bit stealthily. Give me a sleight of hand check to not make sure that the bronzes do not see you.
We
how
outrank
about-
them. What does it matter? We need this.
'Cause you'll have to
friendship.
sign
needs
for it.
business. Oh, got it.
How about a 16?
16, that's plenty. Yeah, they're trying not to pay attention, but they're like, if they take something, we have to get them to sign it. One of them's holding the clipboard kind of nervously, and every once in a while just kind of looks over, but trying not to look
Bonnie-
over.
Bonnie is engaging them in conversation to see if they've noticed
One of them will
anything,
engage with you at a time, but both won't.
Okay, and she's just trying to be a general
Okay.
distraction.
They're just trying to make sure they do everything properly in front of 5 silver badges, all of which can make formal complaints about them.
I mean, that's fair.
It's like, there are 5 of my bosses here. And they've probably been bronze badges a long time. They definitely know who you are. You've gone up in the ranks fairly
Can
quickly.
be identified.
You know, it's like there's not a lot of hiding you know, who you are. So Merrick, you sneak the book into Adelaide's book bag, and you guys are done. There's nothing more in there. There's a few personal effects, but nothing that seems relevant as you head off.
Is his coin pouch there?
Yes, there is a coin pouch there. Do you want it?
I want
Victory!
This would be how many times have you taken this now?
This is the second time.
Are you going to look in it now, or are you going to wait?
I'll wait. Just
It's the
because-
principle of the
it feels
thing.
a
It's not
little-
about the coins.
It feels a little lighter than normal.
Yeah. Well, I will re-steal Robin's coin purse.
Okay.
Can Adelaide poke around in that box? A little,
There's
just
nothing
out
more
of
in the
curiosity's sake. Oh God, what happens when I poke in the box?
Oh my
no.
God, Michael!
Find out,
Mike, what are you doing?
Michael.
This is a different Michael. Oh, that's for
who's
Michael.
it happening to?
Who did that?
Michael donated, it says.
Michael
Hello,
donated.
Michael.
Michael. Oh, thank you for that.
Michael,
So who's
thank you for the
rolling on
donation.
the wheel?
Michael
Robin.
Casaban.
Is it different? Michael?
Hello, it's Dead
Oh,
Aussie.
Oh, it's
Dead
Dead
Aussie.
Aussie.
Dead Aussie, who would you like
Who would
to
you
roll?
like to have roll on the wheel of causality?
Michael roll.
Okay.
Nice.
Michael, just because of the shared name. Oh, let me get on the right page. 'Cause right now we're not on the right
Oh
page.
man.
All right, with 2 wheels of causality in one night. So here we go. Wheel of causality. Here we go.
It's like you want to complain, but you don't want to complain.
Right?
What do we got this time?
Black Death. All right, that sounds
Oh
great.
God.
Hold on 1 second here.
In a morgue, no less.
I am
Right?
worried.
Are we gonna
Uh,
recreate that scene in
so,
Winterfell right now? Why
okay.
are you in the basement?
I forgot about this one.
So you are in the morgue right now, and Arthur, you are minding your own business. You feel a little vibration from your little silver badge. which is always seems to be kind of an indicator that something bad's about to happen from the magic poisoning that exists within the birch field here. And all of a sudden, you feel yourself lifted up as something large sort of appears between your legs, and then all of a sudden something very heavy appears on your back and all over you, and you're just kind of like slumped down. What's your strength?
12.
So 12, you are having a hard time holding up this very large black Holocaust cloak that just appeared on you as Brindlehooves the unicorn, brilliantly white, appears underneath you. And yeah, you're now sitting upon Brindlehooves in a black Holocaust cloak that is so heavy. That
Do you just mean
can't
like a
even
Reaper
move.
Cloak? Is that all you mean?
It's a Holocaust
Kind
cloak,
of.
which is a particular reference to a particular movie.
The Holocaust cloak specifically was made in such a way that the cloth was flame retardant because of how the cloth is produced. So it is a flame retardant cloak.
Right.
Gotcha.
That then lights on fire. And while Brindlehooves is freaking out, running
Does
around,
he make a noise?
he makes
Death
that
on-
noise once again.
Death on a pale, sweating
throws
unicorn.
you to the ground. Although the fire does not seem to hurt you or Brindlehooves, it seems to just be a part of the nature of the cloak. But Brindlehooves runs through the door, gets a little stuck, but forces himself through his big butt.
He'd pre-gamed with
And
some margarine.
you just hear him making that weird screeching sound and kind of clattering up the stairs that you came down.
Can I hang on?
And no, you have no ability. The cloak just drags you down as you are laying on the floor in this heap of cloak that you can barely move while it's burning on fire, although you can't feel it. And you're going to keep the cloak, by the way.
Poor unicorn.
Can we spend like a day where the world doesn't explode like a goddamn pinata of
No.
horrible things?
I welcome it. It's wildly entertaining.
After a few moments, Arthur, you are able to
help.
get your hand out and start to climb through one of the holes. The cloak, you kind of realize you have the ability to control it. The cloak weighs 100 pounds and it's just a ridiculously heavy thing. It is made for a large-sized creature, but it is yours to keep, and it is basically glamored to be on fire as often as you want.
Great, we can just make a mannequin and put it on wheels and push it out into a bunch of bad guys. It's a great distraction.
If I put it on,
Right?
does it become lighter?
No, it always weighs 100 pounds.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh my god.
You know, I
Can
bet if
any
we
of
take,
us carry that?
I think if we take that to Marco, he might be able to do something with it.
Marco.
Marco.
Okay.
Is that one?
I'll allow it. I'll take it.
All right. Thank you,
Logan.
Michael, very much for the
Yes,
donation.
thank
We
you.
really
That was
appreciate it.
beautiful.
Making our game more chaotic and more fun. As you guys finish up here at the morgue, you wanted to look for what in the box?
It was a character moment. She was just looking in the box because she didn't really know Robin that well, and so just out of literal morbid curiosity, wanted to see if there was anything insightful in the box of his
So,
personal effects.
all right. So everybody gets to give me one strange item that it might be on Robin, or a normal item that has something unique about it. We're gonna kind of piece this into his personality because it might be relevant.
Okay, now that he's
So-
dead, you want us to make him relatable and
Who
empathetic?
says he's not coming back? When you've got something, give me a holler. Actually, let's just pick three. The first three people to come up with something.
He has a bronze proctor pin on it in his pocket.
He just
Like,
carries around a bronze proctor
Yeah.
pin. It's a little
His
tarnished.
first pin.
Might be his first
Could be
pin.
first
Could
pin,
be the pin of
could
somebody
be-
he lost. Could be a lot of things.
could be the way he pitches the proctors to people.
Yeah. So he has a bronze proctor pin. I like that. That's good. Bonnie?
He
But,
has.
Sorry, 1 second. Because I actually like this a lot because I think it's loose. Where every other time you've gotten a new badge or given your badges, it's always been a very ceremonial process. The badges are always very protected and they're always put back into boxes and closed. There's always a process to it. To have one loose, you don't think you've ever seen that before.
It's kind of disturbing.
It's kind of
Or
disturbing a little.
unsettling.
It's a little unsettling, yeah. Bonnie, sorry.
He's got a locket on that he was wearing around his neck, and when opened up, there is a picture of him standing
Brindlehose.
next to
No, sorry, go ahead.
standing next to a hobgoblin, and they are in wedding attire.
Nice.
The two of them
gave him a-
together.
You gave him a
surviving
backstory.
spouse.
I
Maybe
did give
not.
him a surviving. Oh, or not, yeah.
Oh no!
And
God, are they both
Worse.
wearing bronze proctor pins?
They are.
oh,
Damn it.
perfect.
Both wearing-
I love it.
No!
Their wedding
How
attire.
dare.
Oh, because we do
and-
not kill our gays here
Yeah, I
on
was
this
gonna say
channel.
no. It's
They
it's
are
a hetero.
absolutely a surviving spouse.
Or it's hetero. Oh, is
Because,
it is it a male?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I missed that. All right, so
We do not kill our gays on this channel.
well, we
I
do kill
refuse.
some of them. I'm sorry. There's so many. I have to kill some of
Not
them.
this one.
Not
all
the
right.
hobgoblin.
No. Well, okay, fine. I like the idea of it being of them having died, and that was the bronze badge he carries around. Was the idea.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I like that idea too, but still.
But let's see what the
Must be
third thing is. Arthur.
Unless somebody else has.
Nope, it's you.
I would have said.
You are saying.
that there is a bucket list, and I don't know the items on it. 10 items, and some of them are crossed out, like already completed, and then there's 3 that are remaining.
Okay, but now we have to decide what those 3 things are. So, what are those 3 things? Merrick?
Wrestle the cockatrice.
Wrestle a cockatrice is perfect. Val?
I don't know. Fuck. I have no idea. I'm blanking.
Okay, somebody else?
Step on a shore that no one's been on yet.
Ooh, I like that one. That's a cool one. So, he wanted to travel a little bit. He wanted to do something exciting. And the last one, it just says, make him proud.
How
Fucking.
dare.
Thank you.
You. All right. So, there you go. A little feels train for the dearly departed. I like it. Perfect. So, and we're going to say surviving spouse because maybe they're not bronze anymore. Maybe they left or quit or something. So here we go. You're welcome. So there's your trip down Robin Way. While this is going on, Val, did you
Seriously, guys, a little help.
Yeah. Add a little.
Val, did you want to inspect the body more? Because remember
Yes.
earlier you had some questions about what could have been. You have time now and tools.
Yeah, she
and
wants to
things.
take a really close look
So-
at the wound and use some of the equipment. She's
So
got
you
like
go
her
over
sleeves rolled up.
and you start to open some of the drawers. You pull out some of the equipment, and as you turn around, sitting on the sitting amongst all the tools that you're going to end up using to look really closely at this is a magnifying glass, and the handle you recognize. It's a wooden handle with a silver pommel. You're pretty sure it belonged to TR Toys. It's very unique, but it has to be sitting with the tools, and it's the only instrument for magnification. So you're going to use it.
Okay.
As you use it and look closer, give me an investigation check.
This turtle.
I
Son
didn't
of a
do it.
turtle.
You can blame Matthew for this one.
Matthew, the son of a tortoise.
That's a 16.
16. Okay, good. Let's see here. Body. Inspecting the body. Did I say I took 4 pages of notes on this? Okay.
I see that.
Okay, so as you're looking over the wound, you kind of realize that this is no weapon that made this. It's no magic you've ever seen. What it looks like is that the flesh literally tried to maybe like pull apart from itself. It looks like the flesh ripped apart from itself. And as you are kind of looking more and more into it, it looks like these are very slow sort of striations. that the damage that was done not quickly, although it happened in a mere moment that you saw. So you and since there was no sounds that he made, you would guess he didn't feel it or whatever, but in that moment it feels like almost like several seconds or maybe even upwards of half a minute of damage was done here, depending on how it was done. It doesn't feel like the way that these things would tear in that way. And unfortunately you don't get any more with that. The other thing is, as you kind of search over the body, there are no claw marks. There's nothing like that. It just really feels like somebody just took the flesh and kind of pulled it. But there's no bruising from where somebody would have grabbed it to do that. It just literally feels like it's pushed apart. In addition, there are no other marks on the body, which takes you a few minutes as you're kind of looking over you have to look through the tattoos and the neck and head and through the hair and everything. But there is no place that that poison would have been put into his body. There are some notes about the poison that are there from the initial report that you kind of look over. It talks about the last gasp, and it says that it basically writes off everything that we're capable of. We can't use speak with dead. Gentle riposte doesn't even work. Nothing will work on this body that is necromantic magic.
This doesn't make any sense.
What?
There's no injection site wounds. Like something was put in, like there's nowhere for the poison to have been injected from that device you found, Merrick. There's no injection sites, even with this
I was
thing.
gonna say, what about the hole in him?
Could have started in the middle of where that ripped away.
Oh God.
Just
Yep,
kind of
maybe-
a possibility.
Maybe it
well,
Does
burst
it
out
look-
from his chest.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Is
ask.
it what
Does
now?
it look like
Is-
it could have come out of his chest?
Maybe, but Merrick, you're not sure that thing was strong enough to do that. That would have been a lot of work. You're not quite sure about that, but you would need a better look at it to really be able to tell for sure.
Better look at the device.
Yeah.
Right. I'll go turn to one of the bronzes. What was your name?
James.
Jangs.
Jangs.
You're doing a bang up job, Jangs. I was wondering.
Sorry, did you call me?
God damn it, no, look. Bangs and Shanks. Those were their nicknames, right? Like when they were hazed? Those were the nicknames? Damn it.
You're
Right.
starting to see the family resemblance.
Right.
And the family shame.
All right. You tap it, brothers. Where is the other evidence that came from the scene, like the investigation, the evidence lockers, as it were.
Pre-paint.
We don't know that. I don't know. Maybe Proctor Veen has them,
Maybe.
somebody left with it. Was it one of the directors?
Was he turtle shaped?
No turtles.
Can you describe?
He'll describe probably just one of the other gold proctors. Unfortunately, it's not anybody you know off the top of your head. But where it went, you would have to kind of start to investigate. Maybe talk to some of the other proctors.
All right. Well,
No hard feelings. Bureaucracy's there for a reason. You're not meant to know everything.
Well, just we doing our jobs.
Doing
You're
a
quite
good
doing
job.
a wonderful job.
And you guys are pretty much done here, unless anybody else has anything left.
I mean, I have something for right after we
Sure, what do you
leave.
do?
If we all sort of like reconvene and try to powwow and put our heads together and try to figure out what to do next. Adelaide is going to pull out from her book bag, not the grimoire, but a a book that she'd been using with a cutout that has like inks and dyes and things that she stores for components, and is going to spend about 10-11 minutes sitting down and writing down everything that they've found out so far, using illusory script. She's going to cast that spell.
Okay.
So she's going to make it look like an innocuous conversation, like a letter to your mom or something. And but in the actual text of it, it's going to be all the notes about the investigation and what we found so far. And I get to designate. It doesn't have any limitations. You and any creatures you designate when you cast the spell can read it.
Sure.
So it's all of us in the party, Proctor Veen, and
How does that compete with comprehend languages?
it says you, anyone else, the writing appears as if it were written in an unknown or magical script that is unintelligible.
I'm trying to wrap up what just happened.
We got
Perception
rated.
Studio.
Perception
Oh, rated.
Studio.
Okay, thank
Guys,
you guys.
yay! Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you.
So it says, to anyone else, the writing appears as if it were written in an unknown or magical script that is unintelligible.
Okay.
So it's nonsense to anyone else, even if it's comprehend
I
languages.
do-
I imagine that.
I don't know. We'll have to look
No,
up. It doesn't
comprehend languages is
specific-
spoken, but
No,
yeah.
that's tongues. Comprehend languages is reading. But that's okay. So we'll worry about that later. It's not probably going to matter. So you do that. You do.
I pick also, just in case of emergencies, the last person I pick is Director Birchfield. Is
Okay.
the emergency, like, okay, in case everything goes to
Sure.
shit, let's pick the next person that might need to read this.
Okay. So Proctor Veen and the Director Birchfield, and then
And the
before
party.
The party. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Brindlehoofs? Just kidding. So
Fuck Brindle Hooves. He doesn't get to
Yay.
read my note.
um,
Thank you, Kyle. That's good.
well, okay. So as we were finishing up here, you guys have a few moments as you're kind of passing through the halls, trying to figure out what you're going to do next. Can't get a hold of Professor Veen. You can't. Or you can try sending again, which we can talk about next time and things. But the one last thing you still do have is you do have the grimoire, and there were some very hasty sort of bookmarks put into it. Does anybody want to take a look at that before we wrap?
Yes, please.
Okay. As you guys steal away to a corner of the Birchfield Institute, you start to look through.
Oh my!
Might take a while for us to finish.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Welcome to Shenanigoons. We love that you subscribe. Mayhem, magic, mystery is usually
Oh my God, there's 3 of them.
Come on, different songs.
I hope they're different songs.
You can get a word in.
Welcome to Shenanigoons. We love that you subscribed. You've tuned into Shenanigoons. No one here was bribed. Mayhem, magic, and mystery is usually the vibe. Strap in for Shenanigoons. You're awesome to subscribe.
Both of those were our lovely
Sing it,
Angela.
Adelaide. Sing it.
And
one more?
lastly, dun, dun, dun.
Welcome to
Matthew.
Shenanigans. We love that you've subscribed. You're at Shenanigans. No one was bribed. Mayhem, magic, mystery. That's usually the vibe. Oh, thank you, you're awesome. 'Cause you subscribed.
And I do believe that was the first one. The music was written, the lyrics were written by Heather and performed by their Matthew, the DM of the Land Above podcast, and the rest of the songs were sung by Adelaide. And we have a few others in there, but let's get back to the ending of this. So the very most dramatic, absolute moment of this, which was perfect. Thank you so much for those donations, anonymous gifter. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you guys. So as you crack the grimoire and you start to flip through, and I know you spent some time with these before, Adelaide, but you just didn't understand any significance to what you were reading. You kind of had to skim over most of it because it never had any relevance. Yeah, it was all interesting, but nothing really kind of connected. But this point now starts to matter. As you're reaching through the grimoire, you find that the grimoire actually mentions the Gemini compass. And it talks about it as a singular, two halves that make a singular. And it is said within that the compasses were put onto two different planes of existence by the Celestials. One of fire and one of cold. I can't remember. The two of the elemental planes. And in doing so, they created the para-elemental planes. So the four planes of smoke, magma, ooze, and ice were created with the Gemini compass. It doesn't talk to see if it was actually used to create any of the lesser realms, the 8 lesser realms of positive and negative energy and elements, but at least for the para-elemental planes, the compasses is what was used to create them, which makes them much more powerful artifacts than what anybody really may have considered before. However, what it also talks about, and this is what throws you because you're not familiar with this term, that while the two compasses are powerful together, they are far more powerful when apart, connecting 2 points of the nexus together and allowing a manipulation between them. So while you don't really fully understand that, it is obviously very important. At least it was to Robin. And that's where we're going to end this episode of Shenanigoons. We'll be back next week at this time. Come hell or high water, we're going to be finishing up hopefully this short part of the first part of this arc, and we'll continue on with Cloak and Dagger, and now Cloak makes so much more sense. And now we just have to wait for the Dagger as we move deeper and deeper into this mystery, which is only growing at this point, I hope. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate that. Please check out our amazing sponsors, World Anvil at worldanvil.com, the most robust world building and campaign management software that exists. We'll play a short video at the end. It's really awesome. So light up the forge with World Anvil. You can't go wrong. Next, Die Hard Dice. DieHardDice.com is an amazing sponsor of ours. They sponsor the entire network and do a lot of amazing things for us, and are just incredible and make amazing dice. You really should check them out if you have not already. And if you would like to get a set of your own dice, you can use the coupon code GOONIES, GOONIES, and you can get 15% off your first order or your next order. It works once. So, and then again, thank you to the Nerdsmith Network for supporting us and being our producers and sponsors. It's all me. I just do everything, but the art and stuff, and all the behind the scenes stuff is all the other directors too. But we do like to thank the Nerdsmith Network. And Val?
I was just gonna say, as I don't know if you were gonna mention it or not, but if they wanted to try and win their own set of Die Hard Dice, we do have giveaways during all of our 9 Hells of a Good Time events.
I'll be running Thursday's game.
Yes, Thursday at 7 p.m. Is our next Descent into Avernus celebration game. We're doing 12 one-shots over the course of October, and that will be the next one, our 8th one-shot, I believe. They all tie together, so if you watch them all, you'll see a lot of Easter eggs that connect, and the finale will have kind of callbacks, but they're all standalone episodes as well, so you can enjoy any one individually. And we are giving away a set of the Brimstone Metal Poly Dice from Die Hard Dice every single episode. They donated a bunch of Brimstone to us, so you can get those then.
I feel like the Perception Studios crew will especially like this week's, because all of my party are imps, and it's going to be very Looney Tunes inspired, and it's going to be silly and wonderful.
And a lot of them are very silly and wonderful. And then not next week, not the week after that, but 2 weeks after that on this show, Ren from a lot of different things online.
Atomic
especially
Firebird on
Atomic
Twitter.
Firebird on Twitter. Ren Knowles, who is big in the TTRPG industry, but also posts amazing, adorable pictures of Rambo, her little bird, which is a burb, which
Their
is amazing.
bird is adorable.
Their bird is
and
adorable.
their doggo Frank.
And their new doggo, Frank.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I have been seeing Frank.
Yes, and so their burb and their doggo, and they are just an amazing, wonderful person who will be guesting, our first guest on this show, to cover for Arthur, who's going to be gone for a couple of, 3 weeks. So so we're going to go ahead and continue. We'll have our first guest. So a lot of amazing things happening. So please come and join us once again next week. Thank you again, everyone, for the donations and the celebrations and the subscriptions and all of that. If you want to see more content like this, and the raid, yes. If you want to see more content like this, please spread the word. Tell people about our show. Go watch our VOD. Enjoy.
Go support us on Patreon.
Oh, and support us on Patreon. We have a Patreon now, patreon.com/nerdsmith. So you can go there and do some donations. As soon as we get to $100, we'll be opening our shop, or at least getting that finally working. And then after that, we'll be unlocking some other goals where we're going to do some amazing things. And all of the money that goes to that supports all the Nerdsmith produced shows directly, and it supports all of the associate or the self-produced shows that are affiliated with Nerdsmith indirectly, because we help out with a lot of their advertising and marketing and stuff like that. So and then we're also working on creating a lot of awesome educational things for anybody who is in the entertainment, TTRPG entertainment world. So we're going to be working on a lot of stuff. Go take a look at our Patreon. Go take a look at nerdsmith.org. Go see, if you're from our show, go take a look at Perception Studios, because they're awesome for rating us. And that's it. We're going to be done now, because we're already running late, because we had to listen to 3 of those songs at the end. So we...
You mean we got to?
We did get to. It's a very generous. Thank you,
very well,
everyone, for everything. And we're going to go ahead and go now. So we're going to go ahead and roll our credits, and then we'll do the World Anvil video, and we shall see you next Tuesday.
Woo!
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.